Hello, and welcome to Fumbles&Fame plays Tomb of Annihilation. Fumbles&Fame is an international community created to connect DMs, GMs, and players around the world to discuss and enjoy our love for RPGs as a whole, and to play them together with a particular focus on D&D, even though we at Fumbles&Fame are not affiliated with, endorsed, sponsored, or specifically approved by Wizards of the Coast, LLC. We have a few announcements to get through, quite a few actually. First, the final part of Tomb of Annihilation Session 1, Down the Tariki, drops tomorrow, with more videos uploaded every Monday for your viewing pleasure. So be sure to catch up with our intrepid crew before you get too far behind by following the YouTube link you can find right below the video window. We also have videos of our Curse of Strahd campaign up on the channel. There are 8 parts currently up, with some more hopefully coming very soon. Also, every Wednesday, videos of our Horde of the Dragon stream will be uploaded, so be sure to catch up on them as well. The next D&D campaign being streamed live is potentially Horde of the Dragon Queen, run by our very own Exilium on the 26th of this month, but we're still not sure whether that one's going to be happening, so stay tuned on Twitter. After that, there won't be a campaign until February 3rd, which is actually a new campaign, Out of the Abyss, run by our very own Gloss and Gadgets at 2:30. And I believe you're also playing in that one, are you not, Tahina?
I'm not. I play in Curse of Strahd.
Ah, you are playing the Curse of Strahd campaign that will be premiering in potentially late February. In the meantime, if you guys are looking to watch a little bit something else, Dungeons and Dragons online 23rd of this month. Stay tuned on Twitter for the exact time when we'll be going. We also, as a channel, Fumbles&Fame has a ton of other D&D and RPG related content coming soon, from DM roundtables to world building to homebrew campaign creation streams. So again, stay tuned and follow us as we roll those out. Finally, getting through the announcements as quickly as we can, we also have a few open slots for games for those out there looking to potentially join a group just like this. We are currently seeking players interested in playing a game of Fate RPG, an easy-to-learn system. There's only one spot left. They'll be playing every other week on Sundays. I'm not sure about a time yet, but if you're interested, join up. We are also looking for players for a 4th edition Shadowrun game set in 2072. 3 slots are still available that are probably being played Wednesday evening, that game, GMT. Finally, and the most recent addition to our growing number of games, is a Homebrew Evil campaign. If you're tired of being the good guy and want to try your luck as the villain, now is your chance. This game currently has 4 slots being available, time being played to be decided once more of the slots begin filling up. You can find all that info and plenty more by joining Discord and following us on Twitter. We would definitely love to see you in the Discord, as we are a growing community, and we are always happy to have new members, whether you're a player, DM, GM, brand new, or with 50 years experience. Whether you are looking for a group, want to DM a game, participate in world building and lower rule discussion, or are even interested in a play-by-text, we've got you covered. With all that out of the way, now let's get settled in as I go over what happened last week in Tomb of Annihilation. Last time, the party, one day away from Firefinger, planned their assault and came to the conclusion that they would strike under cover of darkness to surprise the Terra folk roosting there and better their chances of retrieving Azaka Stormfang's mysterious mask. Before arriving, they were terrorized on the river by plesiosaurs, which quickly attempted to destroy the party's canoes, quite successfully, I might add. However, all was not lost, as Selenia spotted an ally on the riverbank, using magic of some sort to form an ice platform in the middle of the jungle that surrounded their boats and allowed the party to exit and reach safety. There, the party met Artis Kimber, their savior, strange person, very isolated, and his traveling companion, a Sorial by the name of Dragonbait, who communicates seemingly only through smells. Moving quickly on, and after departing, their new friends company they began to their assault through Firefinger, facing spiders and large mosquito-like creatures. Pressing further on and up through Firefinger, tragedy struck as a strong gust of wind managed to pull our paladin, Selenia, off the tower and plunge her to her presumed death. Runa, by using her familiar, Raven Corvin, very quickly discovered that Selenia had just barely survived the fall, and was in fact being guarded by a very, very strange-acting tiger. With some healing and some retrieval done by Morthos and Mr. T, the party once again pushed onward to the summit. They had reached the third level of Firefinger when unfortunately we had some tech troubles. We fumbled, and the party did continue to play just a little bit longer. And so what you viewers missed was that on the third level of Firefinger, they were very quickly set upon by 3 terrafolk, who they quickly dispatched of. And then in the back of this cavern had discovered for all intents and purposes, a bird-like humanoid. Very kind of eagle head, with these kind of dark brown going into multicolored feathers. And they discovered that this was a Chalton Arakakra. And they released him of his bonds, and he was a little bit terse with them and a little bit kind of mad and demanding. But he seemed to apologize. And as you guys are kind of currently discussing with this Arakakra, just as you've released him, that is where we'll pick off today's session. So, what would you like to do? Oh, yes. Before we get going, one last thing to take care of that I just caught on. For all our viewers and for everybody that doesn't know, our wonderful player Tony, who plays Sin the Barbarian, is celebrating a birthday today.
Yay!
So make sure everybody in the Discord sends him love. Everybody in the on Twitter, send him love. Everybody on Twitch, send him love. And are we all going to sing to him? We could all sing to him if we wanted to.
Let's.
All right, somebody start it. Somebody start the birthday song. I'm not doing it.
Okay. If you're all chicken, I will do it.
All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Tony. Happy birthday to you. Worst live birthday song.
No. That was probably the best. The best. It wasn't scripted. It wasn't anything. It was the best. This will go down.
That echo was killer, though. Anyways, so back into the land of Chult, back into the land of mystery and hostility. You are on the third level of Firefinger. It is still raining quite heavily outside. You have just defeated the 3 terrafolk. Now, it's a little bit smoky in this level because they did seem to have quite a roaring fire going in one of the little side rooms. However, you are all kind of standing before this Chalton Arakakra, and he's just kind of looking at you as he's kind of waiting for you to say what you need to say or ask him any further questions, should you wish.
Did we ask him how he was captured? I don't remember if we did.
I don't think we really got time to ask him anything.
Yeah, you didn't really get time. Plus, we kind of wanted to end it because we wanted our viewers to, of course, see everything that was going on. But I will say that you did not ask him how exactly he was captured. Now, he did, when you kind of first let him go, you did know that he had said that he was out on patrol. Now, as for the specifics of his capture, you're not sure.
And he told us his name, right? Is Nephir his name? Is that right?
Yes,
Nephir
absolutely.
Kir Sabal.
Yes.
Well, that'll be something that Morthos will ask. Well, how exactly was it that you were captured?
He said I was outnumbered. See these filthy creatures, and he steps over on his kind of claws. He steps over and he actually digs one claw into the dead body and kind of rakes it through the dead body so that it opens it up a little. He says, these creatures hold no honor in combat. They outnumbered me from above, throwing a net on me. I never thought I'd see the day when another flying creature would snare another of its kind like that. But the Terrafolk are absolutely not above doing that. And unfortunately, I was alone because the rest of my patrol was killed in a combat that we had earlier.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
Sin looks at him and he's cautious about the situation.
Can I do
Why?
an insight check?
He cocks his head at you, and yes, you can, Runa. Go ahead and roll that insight. But he cocks his head at you, Runa, in kind of a atypical bird-like way, and he kind of says, "Loss? There is no loss. They have
You said
merely
you
gone
are-
on to a new journey."
Okay. My insight is a 16.
What exactly are you trying to tell from him? Trying to tell whether
If
he's
it's
lying?
the truth. Yeah, if
Okay.
he's telling the truth.
He actually does seem sincere. Now, there is definitely kind of a level of kind of testing you guys as well, of, kind of seeing whether you guys are telling the truth. So perhaps he's kind of leaving a just a little bit out just to kind of protect his own skin in a way. However, he says, will that be all then? I intend to leave as soon as possible, especially under cover of darkness, rain like this. He says, should you have need, you may visit Kir Sabal. There,
Thank you.
as a reward for rescuing me, you will be given audience with Ashara, the elder of our monastery. During that audience, you should convince her to perform the Dance of the Seven Winds. It is a magic ritual granting non-magical creatures the ability to fly.
I want to fly.
Yeah, let's go.
Same.
Like right now.
Yes.
Let's just forget
It
forget
sounds
the mask.
so much fun.
Pick me.
I think
Pick
we
me.
should deal with the mask first, but
I'll have to carry the dwarf, of course.
And the elder of a monastery maybe might know more about the thing that we are looking for.
Is the flight permanent?
Says, I have no idea. I have not seen it performed in my lifetime.
By the way, is this the last level of the tower?
No, there is one level up to the top.
Then I suggest we go up to the top.
Yes, I believe we should go up.
I pull out our map and say, where exactly do you think your survival is on this map? So we can take you up on your offer.
In the map given to you by Sindra Sylvain, you do actually see Kirsabal is marked, but I can screen share it for all of our viewers. And you and those who don't have one printed in front of you, so that you can see that it's quite a distance away, but it is marked.
It looks about equal distance from Portney and Zaru to Firefinger that it is from Firefinger to Kirstabal.
A little bit longer, especially trekking through the jungle.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. But Nefir, without another word, he kind of brushes past, and he kind of stands at the edge, and you can see kind of does a couple twists and ruffles and kind of flaps out his wings, and he turns back just before he dives off the tower, and he says, "Take caution going to the top. I know at least 8 terrafolk roost there." And then he flies off into
And
the
I
air.
shall slay them.
Bye.
Great.
For reasons unknown. Just to slash and hack. Just want to.
So, what would you guys like to do on this little?
Well, let's go up.
There's nothing else on this level.
Yeah, they
You can make an investigation check if you'd like.
I'm afraid
And
to, but I
while
will.
you're making an investigation check, let's all cheers our lovely host, Admin Exilium.
Cheers.
I
Can
got a 7.
A 7.
If I
You don't find anything necessarily of worth or anything shiny or anything wondrous, but you do find the entrance to the top. You do find the chimney. It seems to be another one of these kind of winding tunnels that have been through these towers, through this tower, and you imagine that in looking at the outside of the tower and where you are inside, you've probably got a 50-foot climb to the top of this tower through this kind of chimney. Now, it does have lots of handholds, just like all the others have. The ladders have been a little bit of a more precarious climb for you guys, but the chimneys, most of you have not had a problem with.
Except Ven, who rolled that one trying to climb the last one.
Hey, I tried to leave that out, but, you know.
Well, I pointed it out to everyone and learned my lesson last time, so somebody else can go first.
Those terrafolk, they didn't have anything with them, right? No keys or...
No.
Okay.
They don't wear clothes, nor do they seem to have actually, I'm going to get you to roll a medicine check.
You got it. That's 14.
14. In helping Ven kind of look at the bodies, and as all of you, I would kind of spread out and tried to kind of look for clues or anything else like that. Something caught you particularly by eye, Runa, and that's that these terrafolk seem to have kind of the terrafolk equivalent of liver spots. And so you're kind of thinking perhaps that these might have been more elderly terrafolk that you've dealt with.
Okay. I convey that to the party. I think those are elderly terrafolk. We should be cautious when we proceed. Maybe the younger, more sprightly enemies are going to wait for us at top tower.
Oh, more of a challenge. Sin so accepts this.
By the way, last time you zapped me with your aura. Could you please, whatever you did, do when you're not standing so close to us?
I did that?
Yes, you
Oh.
did.
I shall not use my powers then.
You can use it, but please
No,
don't do it
I
so
don't want
close
to
to us.
harm. I do not want to harm my friend.
Just use them when you're standing next to me. I'll be okay. I'll even hold your hand.
These are powers I technically didn't ask for. I don't mean to use them to harm. If I harm any of you, I am sorry.
I think the gods must have granted them to you for a reason, but maybe you just have to get more comfortable with them so you don't harm us with them.
Maybe
Stay 5 feet away from us or something.
If
When
I
you
must, I
activate
should
them.
Like exactly 5 feet.
Just
Okay.
exactly that
5 feet
radius.
away from us.
Stay that distance
This
away.
exact 5 feet that you talk of, it's like an imaginary gift of
If
knowledge.
if
Just
I can touch you
imagine.
with,
Imagine there are squares on the ground. Just imagine it for
Squares.
like.
if I can touch you with my mace, you're too close to me.
I cannot give hugs anymore.
Metagaming. Oh, sorry.
I
No.
cannot be. I can't give hugs. What will
No,
I do
not
without the
not
power
if
of
the aura
hugs?
is active.
Oh, what sadness this brings on me. I've been exiled and I can't even give hugs.
Can, as long as the aura is not active.
I give him a hug.
Aww.
Like a big dwarven hug. I am known to be a very good hugger, by the way.
So I'm just curious, how tall are you, Mr. T?
7'1", by the way.
I'm a half dwarf, so
So like
He's
I don't know.
nuzzling
pushing
belly
4.5
button.
feet?
I don't even know what a feet
Because
is.
I was gonna say you'd either be nuzzling or Sin's family jewels.
I'm Danny DeVito.
So it's up to you, Sin, whether you take a knee to take the hug or just kind
I
of.
take a knee. So
Can
does
I
not
roll-
like
can I
his
roll a,
package fondled with.
Can I roll a performance check to see how good my hug is?
Sure, why not?
I rolled a 17.
Sin, you are taken back to the warm embrace of your mother.
Ooh.
The smell of salted fish in the air as she fed you after all the other town bullies had kind of picked on you for the day before you'd had your growth spurt. And then instantly you're back in hot, wet Chult.
Oh,
So
I love the smell, but I love the rain.
I feel like Mr. T just imprinted on Sin.
Oh, he might have with our human and dwarf love. But we shall carry on. We must.
All right, so who's going up first?
Sin shall.
All right, make an athletics check, and you'll actually have advantage thanks to Skirl in the Twitch chat.
He's emboldened by the hug.
He is emboldened by the hug.
17 plus. It's gonna be 4. So that'd be 21.
21. Okay, Sin, you pick your way up, and you actually pop your head out of the top, and it is wide open to the sky, so you feel the rain coming down on top of your head. The spire's pinnacle is flat and roughly 40 feet square. The edges are crumbling away. It wouldn't be safe to stand too close to any of them. Vines and low brush grow in profusion. Bones and scraps of meat from dozens of creatures are scattered everywhere. A crumbling stone tower rises another 30 feet above the northern corner of the platform. A roaring flame floats in the air, hovering above the tower. Tumbled debris from the tower is heaped around its foundation, and 3 terrafolk are worrying the last shreds of flesh from well-chewed bones near an open doorway into the base of the tower. Now, they haven't necessarily seen you yet, but I'm going to get you to roll a stealth check now that you're up there.
See what my stealth is real quick. Okay. A 4?
A 4.
A 4.
All right. As you are kind of standing in this chimney, kind of arms and legs pressed aside, you accidentally pull yourself up a little bit too much, and all of a sudden the side of this chimney kind of gives way and crumples under the moisture that it has involved. Now, interestingly enough, the terrafolk kind of take notice, but they actually seem to wake off into the darkness. You actually seem to have startled them enough that you scared them away. The rest of you, however, you guys see dirt and this kind of big chunk of stone come rolling down through the chimney and just slam.
Does Sin make it like before like he loses his footing? Does he actually make it on top then?
I'll leave that up to you as to whether you would like or on the top of the tower.
I think Sin,
Either way, it doesn't involve a save. I'll say that you managed to kind of correct yourself, but in correcting yourself, you let that stone fall, which...
Sin's just going to make it to the top. I mean, he's tall. He doesn't want to fall.
Okay, so you are standing on the top now. It is hard to see. You can't really see anything around you apart from the tower. You can't even see the jungle floor because the dense rain is enough that it has kind of blocked out your vision. The rest of you, what would you like to do?
I would like to go up.
Okay, make an athletics check, please.
Would you like guidance?
I would very much love that if that's still possible because I've already rolled. So I leave that up to the dungeon master.
What? Oh, you've already rolled? You can add a D4. It's just an additive D4.
Yeah.
Just roll that D4.
Then I've rolled an 11.
An 11. Okay, with a few more pebbles and rocks being kind of tossed down onto everyone's heads, the dwarf does seem to make his way up. He picks himself up and through. And Sin, you eventually catch sight of Mr. T's head as it kind of pops out. The terrafolk have not returned.
I extend a hand out to help him up.
Okay. And who's next?
I'll go.
Okay.
I'm not going to ask. I'm just giving everyone who passes me by guidance.
Same thing as last
I will
session. You just stand at the chimney and blessings of Kellenvor, blessings of Kellenvor.
She's like the person when
Cat.
she's like the person when military people have to jump out of an airplane. Like go.
Green light. Green light.
Perfect.
Kellen was with you.
I got a 7. Ben's not very athletically inclined.
So climbing up using the same handholds, Ben, you do seem to find a loose rock that perhaps he kicked a little bit extra loose, and it just kind of pops off in your hand, and you have that split second of going, that's not good. And then you kind of come tumbling down about 10 feet, taking a measly 2 bludgeoning damage as you land.
Someone's got
I'd like to say, as I'm falling, I kind of, not loudly, but I do kind of say, sabotage! Like I'm totally blaming Sin.
You can attempt it again if you'd like.
Yeah, I guess so. I gotta get up there.
Did she fall down
Alright.
to us? Or is she...
Yeah, she fell down to you
Then
guys.
I help her up, and in taking her hand, pulling her up, I'm giving her guidance again.
Okay. I got a 23. I did it this time.
23. Okay, this time with a kind of feral ferocity, kind of something you'd expect out of a wild animal. She kind of She kind of readies herself and steadies herself, and then just scrambles up this chimney. And actually, surprising for somebody that just fell, because she does it very, very agile.
Anger really enhances.
Really drives the person. Yeah, it really does.
I look.
Okay, who's next? We have 3 at the pinnacle.
I look at Morthos and Selenia and said, "That is the blessing of Kalimdor in action, guys." I'm telling you.
Preach, Runa, preach.
I'll go.
It's a shame I'm not very religious.
All right, Selenia, go.
Change that.
As you say that, by the way, is Corvin around?
Yes,
right
sitting
now?
on my shoulder.
He's sitting on your shoulder. As you say that, and as Selenia, make your athletics roll, Will, you say, "Good thing I'm not very religious," and all of a sudden, Corvin flies from Runa's shoulder onto your shoulder, and then kind of hops up onto one of your horns and just pecks the top of your head.
I try to wake Corvin away. It's like, okay, I get it.
He flaps off and then lands on your shoulder again and just nips your ear.
Hey. Next time, poop if you say something like that.
What did you get for your athletics roll there, Daniel?
I got 13.
A 13. Okay, so it's a little bit bulky. Spear on your back, and there's a couple of points where you got to move the spear into the hole before you kind of climb up. But you do manage to get your way up, and you are standing with your friends. That leaves Runa and Morthos down on the 3rd level.
Alrighty. Do you wish us to go last?
Yes, I do.
Alright.
Go with my blessing.
The blessing that shall take you up
Yes.
and up.
That's an 8.
All right. Yet again, more debris begins to fall. Now, you're not sure if this is making it easier for all of you to climb, because in pulling out a few stones, it creates some handholds and stuff like that. But at the same time, it could be pretty rough. But, Runa, you put up your shield and everything else. By the way, your raven went with Morthos.
Okay.
And you kind of put up your shield to kind of block your armor and everything from getting the dirt and the stone on it. But after a time, it seems that they have all ascended, and it is just you remaining.
Okay, I take one last look around behind me to see that no one snuck up on me while I was watching all of them climbing. Then I give myself guidance.
Okay.
And I will climb this thing with,
Gesundheit.
14.
14. Okay. You climb up behind, and together you all reach this pinnacle. Now, before you can even think of what to do next, all of a sudden, a strange croaking cry issues the air, and coming through the rain, you can see are 6 terrafolk that will immediately begin to dive towards you. Everybody roll initiative, please.
Sin kind of interjects and says, real quick, sorry guys, I didn't tell you until you were all kind of up here. They kind of saw me when I got up here. I kind of, that piece of stone that fell. They flew away. I thought they weren't coming back. I thought I scared them. I thought so. They're here now, and they're probably really hungry.
Okay, I saw a 3 for Mr. T.
I got a nat 20, so that's a 21.
Nat 20, so
I got
that
nat
is...
20 myself.
Holy! Okay.
What a waste for initiative.
Sin got 17.
So, give me a sec here. That is 10 XP for each nat 20 that you guys rolled. So all the viewers just got 20 experience for that, for you guys. Then you got a 21. Runa, what does that make your initiative? 21 as well? 20, okay. Sin got 17. Mr. T got 3 or 4? 3.
No, three.
Okay, and Morthos,
10 total.
10 total. And Selenia, what'd you get?
8.
A 8. Okay. Ooh, the Terrafolk are going last. So, then you are up. Now, as you can see, for the most part, in the upper area of the map, it's blacked out because you guys kind of haven't explored there yet. But you can indeed see all 6 Terrafolk. Now, this guy, I'm going to try and get my pointer to work. This guy seems to be bigger and meaner than all the rest. The one in the middle left. I'm not sure if you
Sounds
guys
like
can see
Sin's
my
kinda-
pointer.
Sin's kind of guy.
All right, then I'm gonna try and hit the big guy.
All right. What are you going to try and hit him with?
A chaos bolt, a level 2 chaos bolt.
A level 2 Chaos Bolt. What save is that, please? Or is
No save.
Attack?
I rolled to hit,
Perfect.
and I am totally missing that. So that's a great waste of spell slot. That's a 8.
An 8. That does indeed miss, as this kind of chaotic, warbling energy kind of issues from Ven and lashes out at the nearest big guy. However, he just seems to wing away in the air, and the attack misses. Next up is Runa.
Can you just tell me how far away are they again? It's more than 30 feet, right?
How far away are they? You should be able to look right on the map, and those grids are 5 foot square, so they're actually really close to you.
Oh yeah.
Essentially, they waited until most of you guys pop out of that hole, and then all dived straight at the tower because they knew you were coming.
Okay. The big one. I'm going to grab my holy symbol of Kalimdor, and I use my channel divinity path to the grave, and I mark him for termination. So the next attack has advantage against him, and he's vulnerable against all damage types, so he gets double damage.
Wow.
Yes.
All right. I will put this.
So I guess some form of necrotic energy shrouds him and marks him as
You bet. You
Yeah.
guys immediately see this kind of aura go around him, and you can see that he is shrouded in this reddish light, and you guys all see this kind of glowing target. Next up in the initiative round is Sin.
Can I say to Sin, go, do what you do best. Send him over through the whale.
Sin hears that words of encouragement, and he is right behind Ven, and she feels or sees Sin. His eyes begin to glow as lightning charges from his aura, and he grabs his battle axe and kind of runs past Ven very quickly and going after the big guy. And since he has attack advantage, I'm going to use my great what's it called? Sorry.
Great weapon fighting?
Yes. So now that he has attack advantage, I take a minus to my attack roll, but I get an additional plus 10 to my damage. So
Very nice.
hit. Nat 20.
Really? Holy, that's another 10x for all the viewers.
I think that's quadruple damage then, because
Yes, I do
he's
think so.
vulnerable.
And
So
I'm
that's
berserk.
yeah. So he has to roll double, and that counts double.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So roll double your damage dice for the hit, and then double that result.
Okay. So
By the way, Mr. T, your cam is off. I'm not sure if you know.
That's 40 points of damage to that one guy. And
40 points of damage.
Yes, and that's without my lightning damage.
Okay, so Sin, having heard Runa say, go do what you do best, having seen this individual who is essentially marked for death, you go running up, bringing your great axe down in a two-handed swing that just comes up and directly severs this creature's neck from his body, absolutely killing this creature in one shot.
With that also being said, since I brought him down to 0, I have another attack because of Great Weapon Master.
Yes, you do.
So with that rage, Sin looks at the next opponent to his left, and he just, "You're next!" and goes to swing down.
All right, do so.
With a 18.
An 18.
Yep.
18 hits.
With a total of 10 damage for the initial strike without lightning.
Okay. He'll still be up.
With an additional 4 of lightning damage.
So 14 total. All right. And next up in the initiative round is Mortha. Your friend Sin just cut into these terrafolk, killing one of them and bloodying the other.
Yeah.
Sin gives a quick look to Mr. T and says, "You gonna do it, buddy? You gonna do it?"
Let's see. I don't remember if I put my rapier away or not. Let's say I have it. I'll go ahead and summon my rapier and use my bonus action to move Hexblade Curse onto the one that Sin just attacked.
Okay, and you are going to move into melee?
Yep.
All right, now interestingly enough, Runa, you're the one to kind of notice this more than, as you're kind of making your rolls, go ahead. But Runa, you notice this more often than others, and you're not sure at first if Corvin is shedding, which is strange for a spectral bird, but you see as Morthos holds his hand out and summons his rapier, you see a few raven feathers actually float to the ground.
That worries me.
I'm not able to make an attack roll because it takes an action to summon and dismiss.
Ah, all right. So you are before the Terrafolk, rapier in hand. Next up is Selenia. You are up. Now you've got one coming in behind, and you also have Sin has the one bloodied over here. Now it's entirely up to you what you'd like to do.
She's gonna pull out her spear and use it as two-handed and
Okay.
spin around and stab the one behind her.
All right, as he comes flying in. Perfect. Your attack. You're using your spear two-handed, yes?
Yes.
You said?
Yes.
Perfect.
That's an 18. Alright, so it's a D8. Six plus 3, 5. So I got a 9 for damage.
Okay, what'd you get to hit? Or did you tell me already and I've just missed it?
You rolled a D20, right?
Yep, you roll a d20.
I got an 18.
18 to hit, 18 hits, and then you said 9 damage?
Yes.
Perfect. Then that is applied as you manage to kind of stop his momentum. He has to kind of and open his wings up to stop, and he gives you a perfect target as you just jab into kind of the upper shoulder of this terrafolk, and he kind of gives this strange little croaking noise. Mr. T, you are up next.
Since I trust my barbarian friend to hold the left flank, I would like to go and stand on the other side of the pit.
Now, are you just going here, or are you going to all the way to
like
the edge?
all the way to the other side, like literally the other side of the pit.
Oh, over here?
No, like the pit where we came from, the ladder pit.
Yeah, you're right there.
Yeah.
You're on the pit right now, and then just right there?
Yeah, no, to the right of it.
Okay,
To the right.
right on the edge, to the right of the pit.
Yeah, right there. And then I would like to do an intimidation thingy to make those guys attack me, if that would be possible.
All right, what do you say to them exactly?
I just say something in the likes of, "You want a piece of me? Just come and get me." And then I just stand right on the edge, so they really get a feeling that they can like literally knock me off, just to taunt them to come and get me.
All right, sounds good.
I rolled a 17 on an intimidation check.
All right. They do seem to take notice, and in fact, I will allow you to, because you just kind of said something, I will actually allow you to hold an action if you want.
I would like to actually equip my shield and short sword, if that's possible.
Sure, absolutely. All right, so it is the Terrafolk's turn, and they all begin winging down. The one nearest you, Mr. T, wings down towards you. The one nearest Selenia will attack Selenia. The one nearest Morthos will attack Morthos. A Terrafolk comes and lands here and will either attack Ven or Rune. And another Terrafolk Sin. Somebody is getting attacked. Now, Mr. T, your 3 attacks. Bite, claw, claw. Ooh, the bite is a natural 20. I believe that's still 10 XP for the viewers. The claw, though, is an 8, and the second claw is a 17. 17, not even with your shield, doesn't hit you, because you're an 18 with your shield, right?
Yes, Sam.
All right, just the natural 20 with the bite comes through. 5, 8, 10 points of piercing damage as the bite forces you off the kind of immediate edge, and you've kind of got to take kind of a one step back kind of thing with the ferocity of this attack. Now, Selenia, your 3 attacks are incoming. Bite, claw, claw. Ooh, not good at all. The best I'm hitting is an 11, which I know does absolutely not hit. The 3 attacks on Morthos are bite of a 21, and the other 2 are a 9 and a 6.
The 21 hits.
That's those bites, man. They're hungry, apparently. 6 piercing damage to you. And then Sin, your 3 attacks. I've got a 16, a 14, and a 7. Sin.
The 14 and 7 do not hit.
Okay, again, the bite is the one that gets through. Ooh, 10 piercing damage. And finally, the Terrafolk on Runa and Ven actually choose to attack Runa, seeing that she placed this kind of strange curse on their leader. The bite hitting 20 unnatural, claw 7, claw 14.
20 hits.
All right, man, those bites. And that is for 7 piercing damage. Back to the top of the round, we are at 10.
All right, I'm going to poison spray the dude right in front of me.
All right, excellent.
So that's a Constitution saving throw on his part.
Crit failed.
All right. Okay, that's a big old 1 damage. Yeah. Guys, I'm so powerful.
All right, 1 damage to him. Okay, next up is Runa.
I'm going to cast Chill Touch on the one who attacked me.
Okay.
Does a 16 hit?
16.
2 damage.
2 damage.
Yeah, what's with this
You
low
and
roll?
Ben, you'll get this motherfucker.
Someday.
Time.
Someday you'll get him. Okay, next up in the round is Sin.
Sin looks over to Morthos and he says, "You got this guy." He turns around and instantly goes in his turn, go to strike down at the guy behind him.
All right, excellent. Make an attack roll for me.
With a 10.
10 to hit. Unfortunately, this Terrafolk sees your wide swing coming and manages to do a little hop backwards as your great axe just kind of wishes past right where it would have been. Morthos, you are up.
Alrighty. Oh, that's a nat 19 on the guy with the Hexblade Curse.
Oh, very nice. So your nat 19 counts as a crit. Now, for the viewers, I'm not sure if you're going to get 10 XP or not. We haven't really encountered what we're going to do with that, but if it counts as a crit, I say you do. So,
Alrighty.
hopefully, my mods feel the same.
Let's see. That is 16 total.
Damage?
Yeah.
Very nice. All right, 16 total damage. That is enough to slay this Terrafolk as you find your rapier sticks up Terrafolk's head, and with a strange gurgling cry, it falls off the side of the tower.
And I get to regenerate a little bit of HP.
There you go. Hexblades. Selenia, you are up. Now you can continue to attack the one that's right in front of you, kind of floating there.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Sweet. Two-handed or one-handed?
Two-handed.
Excellent attack roll, please.
That's a 16.
16 hits. Roll me some damage.
That's a 12.
12. All right. Excellent. I do not believe that is enough to kill this Terrafolk. But it is enough to bloody him. Excuse me. Mr. T, you're up. We can't hear you if you...
Hello.
Oh, there you are. Here we go. Okay.
No. Yeah, I want to attack. Yeah.
All right.
I've got a 24.
24 hits with your short sword.
Short sword. Yeah, then I have a 23. 9 points of damage. I rolled a 6. So, and then I want to use my bonus action to heal myself for 1d10 plus level, and 3 of my allies all heal 3 hit points.
Cool. Using your second wind ability, I take it?
Yeah, when I use my second wind ability, I can heal myself, and then with Rallying Cry from being a purple dragon, it slides for 3 hit points. I heal myself for 11 hit points, and 3 of my allies, I don't know who's...
Which 3 would you like to assign that healing to?
The 3 that needed the most.
Then I will say probably Ven, Selenia, and Morthos. Probably.
Okay.
This is good.
Sin took 10.
Oh, so Sin then. Sin and Ven.
I can use the tree, so
Then give them to, because yeah, we're friends.
thank you.
All right. Next up are the Terrafolk, and they are going to... Now, the Terrafolk have a bunch of disadvantages. Some redemptions, so here they all come. Mr. T, your first round of attacks, the bite will be at disadvantage, and the 2 claws will not. The bite misses. The 2 claws also miss. Wow, rolled 3 2s on that. Selenia, your bite will also be at Mr. T. Your disadvantage was thanks to Hella. Selenia, your disadvantage for me is from Exilium. However, with the disadvantage, we're 15 and on the bite, so 18 total. Selenia bite, and the 2 claws are 18 and 12. I believe that's
12.
2
I
hits.
don't think there are 12 hits.
Yep, so a bite and a claw for you. The bite is 9 piercing damage. Claw is 4. And finally, Sin. I'm going to give disadvantage on the bite for this one from Gorteb. For a 14 to hit. And then Claw is 12 and 6.
All 3 miss.
There you go. All right. And finally, Ven and Runa, your team will attack. The Terrafolk will attack Ven this turn. Ven, bite is a 23. Claw is an 8 and a nat 1.
Okay, yeah. One of those doesn't hit me.
All right, bite and claw. Bite is 8. Jesus. 6 piercing damage. I need to get better at my math. And 6 slashing damage for the claw.
Ouch.
And next up is to the top of the round, Ven.
Alright, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna poison spray that jerk throw.
Rolled an 18 plus 1 for 19.
Okay. Then he's
All right, Runa, you're up.
Okay, I send Corbin into the face of that creature to flap around and give me advantage on the attack. And I'm going to cast Chill Touch again.
All right.
Oh, that was good. I rolled a 1 and an 18, so 24 to hit.
24 hits.
And 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. All right, and next up in the initiative is Sin, and I will tell you now, you have advantage on this attack because because I missed them, so I'm getting through them, viewers. Don't worry, I have seen all your advantages and everything.
Thank you for the
Because of
advantage.
Hella.
Oh,
That's
okay.
me, by the way.
But I was gonna ask that. Can we give our own disadvantage and advantage to our own teammates?
Sure, why not?
All right.
We haven't really encountered it yet, so sure, why not? If you really want to give your own teammates disadvantage, by all means.
Apparently. That is 12.
12 to hit is
Yeah.
exactly the number you need, my friend. Roll
you.
damage.
Oh, okay. That is a 9 plus 6, so that is
15 total points of damage.
Yep.
All right, that Terrafolk is bloodied. And next up in the initiative...
I'm
Sorry?
Let me
What
roll
would
the
you like to
lightning
do?
damage. Sorry. Because I'm still berserking. That's 4 additional damage.
4 additional damage to that creature. Perfect, thank you.
I'm right
Next
next
up
to him.
is
so-
Morthos.
Yeah, I'm right next to him. So do I have to roll something to
Dex.
deal with the damage?
Dex save.
Dex.
Dex save, my friend.
I didn't make it.
So
You have
you
to
will
be-
also take that.
You have
4,
to
I
beat a
think.
13.
Oh no, I rolled a 5. I'm not beating that.
Okay, buddy. Sorry.
You'll take 4, correct, Tony?
Yeah.
Okay, Morthos, take your 4 damage, and then it is your go.
I'm going to move Hexblade Curse onto. Yep, same one with that sin is attacking, and now roll to hit it.
Okay, you will have advantage on this thanks to Dungorteb.
Cool. Thank you. That is a 23 to hit.
23 hits.
7 total.
7 total damage. As you thrust your rapier up through the skull of this Terrafolk, once again killing it. Morthos, the Terrafolk killer.
I get
Very
HP
quickly.
back.
Yeah, there you go. All right. And next up in the round is Selenia. Selenia, you still have your bloodied Terrafolk on you.
Well, it's time for him to die.
Two-handed spear attack, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
You will have advantage on this thanks to Gloss and Gadgets.
Well, thank you. And I just wrote an actual 20.
Oh, there you go. Nat 20 for Daniel. That's 10 XP for all you viewers in the chat. And so for this, Daniel, you're going to double your damage dice. So if it says 1d6, you're going to roll 2d6.
So it's
And then just add the mod
2.
that you have.
I rolled 2. So 13.
13 hits. Roll me some damage. Oh no, 13 damage. Sorry, 13 damage.
Sorry.
13 damage will kill this creature as you have managed to kind of poke it in the arms and the wings, but this time you find your target directly on and you stab deep into this creature's chest. Killing it. Next up is Mr. T.
I will also attempt to kill one, but it's not bloody yet, so.
All right. Roll to hit.
I rolled a 14.
14 hits.
I've got 8 damage.
8 points of damage for the Terrafolk. He is
And then
now
I will use my action surge to attack again.
excellent.
And that one misses. I got 7, 8.
Okay, that one for sure will miss. And it is their turn. Now, the Skirl in the stream has given me a disadvantage for this first bite attack on Mr. T. For a 14, Mr. T, I know that doesn't. And because you have your shield out. And the other two also do not. I rolled a 4 and a 6 with a +4, 8, and 10. They all miss. Now, the Terrafolk is going to continue, seeing that he has bloodied Ven, is going to continue to strike at Ven with his 3 attacks. His bite being a 13, claw 19, and the last one is another nat 1.
So this is where my question comes in. Have we been in here longer than 8 hours?
No, definitely not.
Okay, then only one of those hits. The 19.
Because of your mage armor, perfect. So that would have been the claw, which is the lesser. The 2 5 slashing damage for you then. And then it is your go as we are back to the top of the round, third round of combat.
Ven is very angry. She's very close to dead. I am going to. We've got 2 left.
Yep, 2 left.
All right, I'm gonna spend my sorcery points, and I'm gonna cast a level 2 magic missile. So it's gonna be 4 darts. I want 2 and 2.
Okay. I'm going to put the first 2 on the guy right next to you.
Yeah. So on the first one, it's going to be 9 damage.
Okay. And on the
And-
guy that's on Mr. T,
5 damage.
5 damage. All right. The Terrafolk in front of you, I don't know why he's not showing up as red, but in front of you, bloodied. And then the one in front of Mr. T is also bloodied, but he is showing up as red. But just so you guys know, Runa, you are up.
I'm going to do the exact same thing.
Okay, you will still have
double
advantage
round.
on this. Thank you. Thanks to your familiar, Corbin.
Yeah. And I rolled an 18 again, so it's 24 to hit. And
24 hits.
Max damage, 8 necrotic damage.
8 necrotic damage as the skeletal hand issues forth from this creature's from you, sorry. You see that it dies. I don't know why, but that
Yay.
one's malfunctioning, so that's why the logo is a little bit different.
It's because the skeletal hand killed him.
Yeah, it's because that's the chill touch death. That's the chill touch death. Leaving up the last one, Sin, you are up.
Sin's gonna move 30 feet closer so he can throw his hand axe at the one in front of Mr. T.
Okay, you can move 15 and be well within range, and then you still have further movement if you'd like.
Is his lightning gonna hit all of us there?
True. So if you want, say you
Please
can
don't
be
go there.
more conscious of it, and honestly, even the range on a hand axe, you could stay where you are, or even move off to the distance over there. I'm not sure if you can see it.
Kind of like on the left side of where the one just died. That way I don't hit anybody with lightning. One more space forward to the right.
That way? Or to
No,
the right?
to the right. Boom. And then I'm just going to throw a hand axe and see if I hit him.
Just going to start deleting these guys so they're less clutter on our...
That is a 10 plus... So that is a 12 to hit.
12 hits yet again, just barely.
Let's see. And that is a 3 So that is 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage to that creature, and you will kill it as your hand axe buries itself into this creature and drops it. Now, unfortunately, your hand axe beds in the creature and falls with the creature.
That was my last hand axe.
And we are out of initiative. You have bested the Terrafolk roosting on top of Firefinger. And even now, the actual rain begins to let up and actually comes to a stop.
I would like to give 2 of my hand axes to my barbarian friend.
Oh, why, thank you, my friend.
All right.
So I have 3 left.
That
Cool.
made it sound like Broberry.
Brobarian.
Broberry.
I feel like that should be
My
canon.
Brobarian
that should be
friend.
It's like that commercial
Very.
potato chip.
All right. What would you guys like to do now?
How hurt? are you?
I would like
I
to.
can look around.
I feel like I'm gonna die, so I would like to get off this tower.
Yes,
Death
that
is
sounds
not
good.
dishonor. Death is an amazing thing to journey through.
Is-
Once you-
I would
Everyone
say
left.
I would say I feel about a 27 out of 35. Something like
I feel
that.
about a 2. Okay, I feel about a 2.
I feel about a 40.
And you were berating me about meta.
I'm 100%.
I think I might cast Prayer of Healing, which will heal up to 6 creatures that I can
Cool.
see for 2d8. And I think I'm going to do that.
Very good. By all means, heal away.
So I ask you to step a little bit closer to me. And
I
I'm
hug
going
you.
to heal. You hug. Yeah, I'm hugging you back. They can hug you, we can hug well.
Okay, and welcome back, everybody. Connection problems, but they should all be done. Gave us a chance to go for a quick break anyways. But welcome back to Fumbles and Fame plays Tomb of Annihilation. We are standing atop a 300-foot tower in the middle of the Chelton jungle known as Firefinger, the party having just bested the Terrafolk. And Runa had just issued a prayer of healing that healed everyone quite well, actually.
Because Kalimdor is on our side.
And the dawn is steadily approaching.
So we're surrounded by bodies.
Pretty much, yep.
And do we see the mask anywhere, or do we assume it's in the tower?
You do not. You can probably safe to assume it's in the tower.
Can I search the tower?
Yep.
Did it-
Let's go
I'm
in
assuming
there.
quite a few of you go in there. Inside the tower are crude nests and 4 moldy wooden chests. The chests aren't locked, and altogether you guys find 2,000 copper pieces, 730 silver pieces, ready for more? 4 gemstones, translucent white with a pale blue glow.
Any idea how much these are worth?
Make a nature check.
Straight 10.
Straight 10. Maybe anywhere from 25 to 100, depending on the buyer.
I ask for meta reasons in case I pick up chromatic orb.
Not enough for that, I don't think, because I think you need 100 gold for chromatic orb.
50.
There is enough. Yeah, that's enough.
Okay. I'll bear that in mind.
Okay. A spell scroll that you would have to open up to read, but you can tell that it's a spell scroll because it's in a rather ornate case and everything else. And then in the final chest, you find a cloth-wrapped wooden mask resembling a stylized tiger's face.
Thanks, Callumboy. We found it.
Finally.
Yes.
Now,
Maybe we should hurry.
Sin, as you're looking around, you all of a sudden take a step and you feel something under your boot. And it's not like a rock or anything. It's something strange, something perhaps you might want to take a look at.
Sin looks down and goes to pick it up.
You pull out of this kind of crude nest. It's like somebody tossed it, want it or anything. But you see a strange whistle carved in the shape of a small feathered carnivorous dinosaur's head.
Sin inspects it very correctly, and he is intrigued by its shape.
It's beautiful workmanship. It's carved ornately. You can see even signs of little minute carvings in the whistle that seem to further represent this motif of this kind of dinosaur. And I don't think you've actually ever seen what this dinosaur could perhaps be representing.
You said it's a whistle, right?
Yep.
Sin's super intrigued, so he goes to blow the whistle.
All right. You blow on the whistle, and a strange cry issues from it. It seems to be a type of animal call that carries quite a distance. You see that the whistle glows with a strange green light, and shooting out from it are 3 balls of greenish energy that land near your feet and coalesce. Suddenly, standing before you are 3 small creatures whose heads seem to be an exact match to the head the whistle is shaped like. They are small, feathered. You can see that their heads end in rows of sharp, pointy teeth, and you can see that their claws, while having 3 toes on the front, they have a rather large curved claw on the back.
Sin kind of steps back as he's suddenly what just happened? And he says, "Hey, guys, I blew this whistle, and these are here."
As you take a step back, Sin, the raptor-like creatures just kind of paw towards you, as if they follow you.
What's going on?
And happy birthday, Tony and Sin. You have now found a magic item.
Woohoo!
For the viewers, and I will send this to you a little bit. It is a raptor whistle of Ubtao. This whistle appears like the head of a mighty velociraptor. It makes the call of a velociraptor when blown. Blowing the whistle causes an equal of 1d4 velociraptors to appear and act on your command. They act on your initiative and will attack hostile creatures and assist you in combat either till the encounter has ended or 3 minutes has passed. Once either 3 minutes or the encounter ends, the velociraptors disappear in a puff of green smoke, and it can only be used once a day and recharges daily at dawn.
Thank you.
Does
Does it have something I can wrap around my neck or?
It is actually on a leather tie, so you'd be able to tie it around your neck.
I put it on.
Okay. All right. And what do the rest of you do? Apparently you have found everything come here to find. It is up to you now. What you would like to
Vince counting money and trying to split it up evenly.
you can.
Dawn is breaking, right? Maybe we should hurry away from this tower before the rest of those Seraphol come home.
Yes, let's get off this rock.
I agree.
We got what we came here for. So, and we even freed a prisoner. So, good job. Let's go.
Yeah, we can sort the money once we get it changed to gold and stuff.
Okay. For the sake of brevity, I'll say that you're aware of the day, aware of the kind of ricketiness of the ladders and everything else, that you guys managed to slowly but very carefully, by the time dawn's first light breaks, you guys are down on ground floor, back in the thick Chalton jungle, and it's extremely hot, and there isn't any rain, but you think you hear off in the distance distant thunder.
We need to find Azaka, Stormfang.
Yes.
Where did she run off to?
When we left her, she was pointing at some bushes and said something about
Mhm.
camp or something.
And in fact, you guys go to look, and very clearly she seems to be sitting right where she said she would be, a roaring fire going, and in fact she has what seems to be a wild boar turning on a spit. And as you guys approach, she kind of looks up and she kind of goes, "Ah, you made it. I was starting to get worried. No trouble, I hope."
No trouble.
No.
Very, actually. It was fun.
Totally didn't almost die.
No. I'll hand her the cloth-wrapped mask.
Okay.
We
She
were
opens it
successful.
up, and you see her face just completely become at ease. You see her body kind of completely relax, and she very quickly takes her pack down, opens it up, and she pulls out velvet, and she wraps the mask in this kind of velvet wrapping, and then she almost sacredly puts it back in her pack. Strapping it right back onto her back, she turns to you all and says, "Thank you. You have no idea how much this mask means to me. A promise is a promise. Now that you have helped me, I will guide you from now on wherever you need to go, free of charge, from one end of Chunk to the other if needs be. I will even die for you if I need to.
Even
So,
if you have to climb heights.
where are we going?" And she kind of wryly smiles and she says, "Maybe."
Well, let's avoid the dying part.
Yeah.
For sure.
I would like to go somewhere to sleep. Personally, I could really use a rest.
And something to eat, yes. It's good to have you on our side, Asaka.
She says, "Yes, it's good to have friends. We should find decent cover. There is a big storm approaching. There's no travel today. We cannot move. Come with me." And she very quickly actually has you guys pretty much pick up camp, and she actually digs out an area underneath a large jungle tree where the roots kind of come down and almost form a protective covering. And almost an hour after you guys get inside and get situated and get a fire lit and get the boar back on the fire and everything else, a tremendous storm hits Chult. It is heavier rain than by far any of you have ever encountered, with thunder and lightning and just all sorts of smells, as you know, those who live in the Midwest know the smell of burning ozone. And everything else. It's just crazy. It is a full-blown tropical storm. Nothing is moving. And actually for the next 24 hours, so you guys will get a long rest, but essentially for the entire day and then the concurrent night, you guys are pretty much stuck under this tree, going bored out of your mind, just waiting for the storm to let up.
Can I take a good look at Corvin to see why he lost feathers. I mean, he's a celestial spirit raven. He shouldn't molt, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I would like to investigate it.
Okay, as you kind of
Medicine
hold out
or
your hand and hands kind of faces you, I want you to roll a perception check, please.
Okay. That's 20, not natural, just dirty 20.
All right. For a split second, Runa, you think you see something white in the pupil of your raven's eye. And then it goes away, and Corvin just kind of hops, and he kind of turns his head, and he kind of pecks at your hand like he does. He doesn't seem to be missing any feathers. And then he kind of just looks at you and just kind of flies back up onto you. Fine.
So when I communicate with him telepathically, he sounds normal, right? Are you okay? I ask him mind to mind.
He comments back, and he goes, "Oh, strange. Someone else watching."
Okay. Can you tell me who's watching?
Don't know, but had to serve her.
Her.
Yes. Strange.
Do you
Mask.
Do you think it would help if I sent you to your realm and call you back so you can, I don't know, shed that influence?
Worth a shot. And he kind of nips your ear, to kind of say, it's okay if you need to do it. Like, I get you.
Okay. As we are stuck here, I have time to cast it as a ritual, right? So I can just dismiss him and summon him back. I think it takes an hour or something like that to
Okay.
call him
Yeah,
back.
we can say that during the 24 hour in this kind of storm shelter, essentially, that you're doing this. So it won't
Okay.
waste any time at all for you to do that. He comes back, and he seems normal. Everything seems fine. Even when you telepathically communicate, he says everything's great. And then you break the telepathic connection, and a couple hours goes by, and you note that Corvin seems to have taken a particular interest in, for whatever reason.
Yeah.
He seems to just stare at him intently.
What is it about Morphos that interests you so? I ask my familiar. Is it because the comment of him not being religious? I think we can convince him to convert.
He says he serves another.
Another?
She is my queen.
Oh. I stand up with Corin on my shoulder
Okay.
and settle over to Morthos, sitting down, looking at him. So, what are you writing?
This is my log of everything that I'm studying here. Far as I know, I'm the only member of my brotherhood, so to have ever been here. And I'd like to bring back home as much information as I can to add to the library.
That's a worthy goal. Tell me your brotherhood. You said you're not religious, but is there something or someone that your brotherhood serves?
No, we are the arcane, the Brotherhood Arcane, and it's mostly of the arcane magics that we study. We try to keep a neutral ground in the world around us, so we don't take sides, if you're wondering, but it's mostly studying magic and living with it almost in the spire.
And how do you feel about the gods of death and the grave?
In a way, they have their purpose in the order of things. I don't have too much of an opinion of them.
Maybe they have an opinion about you.
For whatever reason, Morthos, when Bruna says that, the mark on your hand twinges slightly.
I would like to continue with my notes, please.
Of course. I'm sorry for interrupting your work. And I stand up and leave him to his notes.
So, provided you guys don't want to do it, you will fast play the 24 hours and
Before you do that, I would like to say that the second Bruna gets up and walks away from Orthos, Ven goes over to bother him and ask him for a piece of paper and a bit of charcoal, or quill and ink, or whatever he has.
Yeah, take another page from the back of the book.
I swear I'll pay for the next book.
You better.
And she goes over to her little corner where she was sleeping and begins writing a letter to her parents.
so you guys all kind of spend the next 24 hours a little bit deep in thought, relaxing.
Yeah, and I'm fussing over Selenia because she almost died on my watch. So, are you hungry? Maybe you should drink some more. It's very hot here. In your room, and drink something. Are you feeling okay?
I'm fine. Yeah. She's a little awkward around you, like, yeah, thanks. She does ask Azaka where Dragon Bait and I think it was his name,
Artist.
Has she seen him?
She says, I have no idea where they left. We left them back in the camp a few hours from here, and I presume they have left now. She looks at you and she says, you have need to go to Oralunga.
Yes.
She says, I know this place. I can take you there if you'd like.
Oh.
Will be a long trek, something you will have to convince your friends to do for you. I'm not sure how close you all are, but it stands way far towards the Mistcliff Mountains.
She pulls out her map and she wants to point it to her. I don't know where it's at.
She will point, and if you'll give me a sec, I'll screen share and I can show you where she points approximately. Excuse me. All right. Okay, so you see my mouse, Daniel?
Mm-hmm.
She points right over in that direction. And now, just to give you an idea, you are currently all the way over here.
Yeah.
And you've got to go all the way over there. Now, you do have a couple points of interest in between. You have Camp Righteous and this Camp Vengeance. Now, Camp Righteous is marked on your map as a point of interest. Camp Vengeance is actually marked on your map as a fort.
Yeah. Selenia's gonna ask her about the camp.
Which one? Camp Vengeance or Righteous?
Righteous.
She says, I have not been there myself, but I have been told it is a ruin. More of a memorial to the failure of the Order of the Gauntlet that has come in recent months. They tried to enter into the jungle and set up a camp to push back the undead hordes. that pervade this jungle, but they failed. However, in my opinion, very stupidly, they decided to push forward and establish a camp further in the jungle, now named Camp Vengeance. So essentially, you get the impression that Camp Righteous was the first camp set up by this Order of the Gauntlet, and then for whatever reason they were overrun. And instead of deciding to put a camp closer to Port Nyanzaru, they just pushed further in and set up another camp. She says, Camp Vengeance is a place where we could restock, potentially buy canoes to travel down the Ocean Star, if needed, or through the Aldani Basin.
I'm assuming Runa was sitting next to me during this time.
I'm sitting next to you, yes.
Yeah. So, what do you think, Runa? Should we go that way?
Yeah, I think that might make the most sense, right? That we move towards Camp Righteous and then make our way over to the city you told us about. Do you have an inkling if that's our destination? Will we find the artifact we're looking for there?
I don't know, but it might give us more clues.
Yeah. Also, Nefir said that we can visit him in Kirsabal and talk to Ashara, the elder. I think maybe an elder of a monastery that is well established here. I mean, they can fly, so maybe they have the bird's eye view.
Who is this
and if that's
Nephir you
something-
speak of? Azaka interrupts.
That's it was a bird person, an Arakokra from Kir Zabal. He was.
You cannot trust these people.
You have made.
They are
lots of
deceitful,
businesses
lying
together?
creatures. Anything that flies in the air thinks it is better than.
Yeah, he was a bit rude to us when we first read him, but then he was quite.
I am not surprised.
Thankful.
You're not saying this because you're afraid of heights.
She says,
Bias.
No. I have encountered these creatures many times before. They are pompous, arrogant. They have this strange, twisted sense of honor. They
Yes, right.
only do things for themselves, never for others.
But I think he owes us. We fret him, right? So if he says we will be granted audience with Ashara, then I hope that someone who's so into honor would honor this promise, right? But it's on the other side of the map, if I remember it right. We would have to go.
She says, yes, we would have to cross the river Olau, which is almost as big as the Tariki. Without any boats, it would be futile. My recommendation, and by all means, I am just your guide. You can tell me where you want to go and I will take you. I have promised you this. But my recommendation would be restock in Camp Vengeance. Head the backup river, the Ocean Star. Get back to Port Nyanzaru. From there, hire a sailing ship. Come in at Kitcher's Inlet. Take canoes down the river Olang. Faster. Easier.
I can't swim.
We
She
already
says,
know this.
we will
I
prepare. Next time we go down the river, we will stick to the banks. So even if you fall in, you can walk out.
Good call. So are all in favor of traveling to Camp Vengeance, restocking, and going back to Port Nyanzaru, and from there traveling either to Kirsabal or Oralunga, right? That was the city that you were sent to, Selenia.
Yeah.
I like it. Sounds like a good plan.
Or would it
I
make
just
more
want a new
sense
canoe.
to go to Camp Vengeance and from there to Umbala and then back? Because
This
we're
is
halfway
going to
there
be a
then, right?
long trip.
Ooh, that
Yes, it is. In fact, Azaka tells you at least 2 10 maybe even a month to get to Orolunga.
And I've got short legs, just saying.
Yeah.
We
I've told you
dwarves are
many times, Sin will carry
natural
you.
born sprinters. We're not very good at long distances.
Sin, your
Yes.
raptor whistle. How big are your raptors?
Just so everyone knows, in game, velociraptors in D&D are traditional velociraptors, so they're small creatures. They are the small real life velociraptors. If you were to look for a dinosaur that was like the Jurassic Park velociraptors, you would actually need to look for a Deinonychus. So I would assume, Sin, you relay that to Selenia.
So they're more
They're ankle
dog-sized.
biters.
Oh,
They are ankle biters.
So what? Is
All
there
right,
anything-
so
Are we going to
the
Camp
next,
Vengeance? Yeah.
by dawn of the next day, you have all had 24 hours of rest, plenty of rest to get yourselves up, moving about, and you all kind of stretch and pull yourself out from under this tree, and Azaka seems to take charge very quickly, having had you guys decide on where you would like to go, and she very quickly heads off into the jungle. Most of the day passes uneventfully, should you follow her, of course. However, near the end of the day, you come into a camp long since abandoned. The hide tents almost completely deteriorated and ravaged by the jungle. There are large tracks in the mud, a huge foot with 3 claws on the front, and this creature must have been fairly massive for it to have left the tracks it did.
Can anyone tell how fresh those marks are? Asaka, can you tell us how fresh those are?
She says, I will try. She gets down. Wow. She says, more than a week, but it is T-Rex tracks.
Ooh, lovely.
So, can anybody tell me what a T-Rex is?
You would have actually seen one in
We
Port
saw them.
Nyanzaru.
Did I know that it was a T-Rex?
Yeah, sure. We'll say just for the sake of the game that you spent time in town, you guys had kind of spent your touristy moments going, ooh, what's that? And what the hell is that? And you would have actually seen somebody riding a T-Rex in the city of Port Nyanzaru.
Didn't Vakanga Utamu lead us through the harbor district where he showed us all those statues? And the other thing, maybe he told us.
Yes. T-Rexes aren't generally used as beasts of burden. They are more for the dino races that happen in the town, and for defense. But yeah, you would have seen a couple, probably young adolescent T-Rexes. This one looks far bigger. For sure.
So good thing that it has been gone for a week now, right?
She says, yes. Do we press on, or would you like to do something here?
It looks
Let's
well
investigate
abandoned.
the area, right? Before we move on.
Sure, make an investigation check.
7?
7. Okay, you look
Really
around
bad
and
roll.
you're kind of like, I don't find anything, but you don't look very good. I don't know, for whatever reason today you're not in the kicking things with your feet and kind of just lifting the odd thing. You're not like getting really in there and looking around. But you kind of come away and you go, oh, there's nothing, guys.
Nothing to see. Let's move on.
Is everybody moving on, or does somebody want to take? What do you guys want to do?
I say we move on. I want
Let's go.
Sin wants his canoe really bad.
All right. You move on, and you come to the end of the evening. And now, have you guys been doing rotating? How do you guys do your watches, or do you all just go to sleep and hope for the best?
I definitely watch. It depends on. I mean, it's always darkest before dawn, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll take the last watch.
And I would like to take the first one, if that's okay, because I can finish my evening prayers and then start the watch.
Okay.
Morthos will stay awake with Tahina. Or Ruda, sorry.
Very good.
All right. And Azaka offers to take the middle watch.
Thank you.
I will take watch numero whatever.
You actually seem to be off the hook for the evening.
Can sleep.
To be able to have a full night's rest, which is strange for a soldier. I mean, you're no stranger to staying up late and marching long the next day, but for once, you got nothing to do tonight, man.
I will sleep in armor.
Okay. All right. Morthos and Runa, would you guys care to talk while you were on watch, or just let your watch go by?
Well, I guess as she does her prayers, I'll go get more firewood. But after that, I'll sit down next to her and ask, so how knowledgeable are you of deities?
I am a cleric. I do know a thing or two about them.
Well, I don't know much of people of the cloth, so I don't know how vast your knowledge is. Like even those in the Shadowfell, right?
Yeah.
Can you explain this tattoo?
Okay. Show me your tattoo.
I hold my hand out to her.
Grab your arm. Look at it. I would like to investigate it from a medical standpoint, religious, and maybe arcane, just to see what is to see.
All right, then I'll get you to roll all three of those checks, please.
Okay. Okay, on my religion, I got 18. Then I rolled medicine, that's a 16, and I had a natural 20 for the arcane. So that's 22 then.
Interesting.
And I could also cast detect magic as a ritual if you have the time. It only takes 10 minutes to cast it as a ritual to see what kind of magic is woven into it, if at all. Tell me the school, if it's magical, and the school of magic that has been applied to it.
Sure, anything.
I mean,
all right.
Look at it from an anthropologist standpoint because I'm studying culture, so whatever.
So, Runa, you have spent quite a bit of time studying the gods of death.
Yes, and funeral rites and stuff.
And funeral rites. And you recognize this as something that is generally seen as kind of a blessing that you only generally find on people who have died. And this is a mark of an old ancient deity one whose name has long since been forgotten, but who goes by the name of Raven Queen.
This is interesting, Morthos. I don't know how did you come to wear this tattoo? Did it just appear?
5 years ago, it's a bit of an interesting story, but I believe I got it from my parents.
As you say that, Morthos, Corvin goes, "What?"
I look at him.
He just kind of nips at you, and then kind of
Yeah.
nods his head at Morthos.
Yeah, I'm going to tell him. You have to give me the chance to say it. And I outline the tattoo on his arm, and I tell him that it's normally a blessing of the Raven Queen that those who have died receive. So it's rather unusual to see it on someone alive. And Corbin, and I pet him, told me that she was watching, and I noticed something when we were fighting, when you used your magic, or I'm not sure what
A
exactly
pact
it is what you
I
do.
made with my rapier.
Yeah, there was another presence on the battlefield with us, besides Callum. So, have you made a pact with the Raven Queen, or did you do it in such a fashion that you caught her attention?
I don't know. I wish this is something I can tell you with a definite answer. I woke up one morning and there it
The
was.
tattoo was there. I see. Intriguing. Maybe in time we will learn more about it.
I hope so. My grand archmage, arcane, Kashan, cannot tell me too much. All I know about it is that it's from the Raven Queen.
Ah, I see. Well, I might not serve her, but I serve another god of death in the grave, so they have similar domains. And I have one of her subjects basically with me because he's a celestial raven. I'm sure that we can get to the bottom of this if we just pool our knowledge.
I hope so. And thank you.
You're welcome. Tell me if it starts doing something weird, if it's spreading, itching, whatever. If you have dreams, we might want to analyze them because the gods tend to talk to us.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. I'll pass on whatever I learn about it to you.
And you might want to try the praying part because a prayer is nothing but a conversation that you have with a deity. You might get some answers that you didn't expect.
As you are both talking, you hear Sin kind of mumbling in his sleep. Now, Sin, you're dreaming. And it's right back to that day. Your wife is in the canoe with you. You're all enjoying having a lovely fishing expedition. You can see your home off in the distance when your dream shifts and you are fighting the great kraken that arose and struck at you. Your dream shifts and you see the storm that arose around you. You see the storm that you used to defeat this creature. But for the first time in your memory, you see two pale blue eyes staring back at you from the clouds. And you kind of waken up and you kind of jump forward, and Morthos and Runa, you guys have just kind of watched as Sin has kind of probably called out a little bit in his sleep, but not much. And he just wakes up in this beating cold sweat.
I jump up, grab my mace, look around. What is it? Did you have a bad dream? I will come over to you.
Looking around, Runa, you actually do see a thick blue mist winding its way through the trees, slowly coming towards you.
There's something weird coming, I yell. Can't be
All
too
right, so you
careful,
will kind of
Michelle.
wake everybody up.
Yes.
You all awaken to the sounds of Runa crying out that there is something weird coming. And you all notice this very, very thick blue mist approaching kind of very slowly, but it seems to be almost going against the wind. Azaka kind of rubs the sleep out of her eyes, and she says,
What's that? Asaka.
"Climb a tree or run quickly now!" And she just bolts.
Mr. T yells, "Don't try to outrun the mist. Try to outrun the dwarf."
I run for the next tree, and if someone is with me, I give them a leg up and climb after them.
I follow her. She's helpful.
Yeah. Okay, I grab
Run to a
Van,
separate
give her a leg up, and then give you guidance and myself and climb after you.
Okay, make athletics checks. Those that are climbing a tree, those that are running.
19.
5.
23.
21.
We're not afraid. We're just
I
motivated.
have 23.
12.
Poor
All right.
Morthos.
Everybody but Morthos seems to find the right limb. Jungle
Can
tree.
I give him a hand up?
Yeah, just want to say, can I aid him? Like, pull him
Sure,
up?
you guys can give advantage for
Yeah.
this.
Or I give up my inspiration if needs be.
So with advantage?
Shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, with advantage, Morthos.
Okay, nat 20.
Nat 20, that's 10 XP for the viewers. Wow, that's just about everybody having a nat 20 today, except for Mr. T.
I high five Runa for together pulling him up.
All right, so you guys get all the way up into the treetops, and you watch as this mist rolls through and then rolls on by. Doesn't leave any kind of marks or anything on your camp. And after a time, Azaka picks her way back into the... And she says, "You can come down now. It is gone.
What was that?
It is mad monkey mist. It will drive a person into madness should they stand in it."
That sounds unpleasant, but kind of funny.
You
Mad
guys can
monkey mist.
thank Exilium for the random easy encounter that he spent his XP on in the stream.
Thank you.
So do we get experience for that?
Yes, you will. Now keep in mind you guys know, running the milestone experience system. So essentially my players and you guys until they level, just so you're aware. Now the next day, you awaken after dealing with the mad monkey mist, and you awaken to a light rain, but hot. And Azaka once again seems confident in her to direct you, and for the most part, you all can tell you are headed in a southerly direction. You can tell this by kind of catching the small little glimpses of the sun that moves in and out of the jungle foliage. Now, about midday, you hear a strange sound crashing through the foliage high ahead, coming fast. And Azaka cries out softly, "Get down, quickly, hide!"
I drop.
I need all of you to make stealth checks, please.
If I just lie on the ground, do I still have disadvantage on stealth?
I will say no, because you specifically said you
dropped.
And you're just staying there, I will say no.
I am wearing heavy armor, so I'm going to use my inspiration to not have disadvantage on this stealth check because I really want to hide. I don't want to be that guy.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah, I
15.
also used my inspiration because I rolled real low. So with my inspiration, I got a 17.
Okay, hold on. Let's go through that again. So I've got a 17 for Ven. What did I get for Morthos?
18.
18 for Morthos. Selenia?
11.
11. 8. Runa? 15. Sin?
11.
11. All right. So, unfortunately, you see coming through the foliage with a flurry of pure muscle and fur overhead, two large creatures come flying through the canopy. They stop 50 feet away from you and hang from the strong, thick limbs of the jungle trees. Monstrously strong apes with 4 arms bulging with corded muscles beneath white fur. They stop and drop to the ground, and one kind of and he just roars at you, fully hidden, and I will let you know that the DC for that stealth challenge went up thanks to Lone Wolf Rowan. And everybody needs to now roll initiative.
Can I say how amazing that voice acting was just now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was terrifying. I felt it.
Especially that sniffing sound you were doing, that was really, really good. I was like feeling them standing almost on top of me, like sniffing them.
And by the way, just so you know, the Giralons have white fur, so I'm using this one initiative.
That's evil. I'm killing my players, die.
I've got a 7.
A 7 for Mr. T, 6 for Mr. T.
6 for Morthos, 7 for Mr. T.
Oh, 6 for Morthos, 7 for Mr. T. You guys sounded really similar in my head for some reason.
And 11 for Runa.
11 for Runa.
12 for Ven.
12 for Ven.
13.
13 for Selenia. Sin.
And 7 for Sin.
7 for Sin. So whoever wants to go between Mr. T and Sin, and Azaka got 3. All right, Selenia, you are at the top of the round. This one's going to be strictly theater of the mind. 50 feet away from you, and they look pissed.
There's 2 of them. Okay.
And there is 2 of them, yes.
She's gonna pull out her shield and long sword. Actually, I'm gonna just use the spear and the shield.
Okay.
And then, I'm gonna cast Shield of Faith on Ven.
It's so funny. That would have been what I did next.
Okay, so then you get an additional +2 to your AC.
And then I'm just gonna wait.
By the way, I'm not sure if you're aware, Ben, but your cam's not.
Yeah, I know. My tablet keeps dying, so I'm on my phone while it charges for a bit.
Okay, no worries, just so you were aware. All right, so Selenia, sorry, what are you doing? Oh, you cast Shield of Faith. So then you have a +2, and then
You say it's my turn?
yes.
I am going to cast Mage Armor. So that'll be my turn. I'm just gonna up
All
my AC a
right.
little more.
Yep. So Ven just buffs her AC. And Runa, you are up.
Yes. I think I'm going to cast Bless on Morthos, Sin, and Mr. T. They should be right next to me, right? Because we were all in marching order as before.
Mm-hmm.
So all of you can add a d4 to your attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws. As the
Excellent.
blessing of Kalimdor settles on you.
You said that was a D4.
A d4, yes.
Cool.
And just a second before my turn ends, I use half my movement to get up because I'm prone. But I saw, so that's no use lying in the mud.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I ready my weapon and shield and stand back to back to Mr. T.
Okay. And the Giralons are going to go as they kind of step forward on, and they kind of sniff again and kind of and they all come tremendously in with just a ferocious flurry of fur, and they are going to lash about in a series of attacks. Just give me a second. I was so caught up, I lost my information. Sorry. And they are going to move directly in, and they are going to unleash 5 attacks each. And essentially, one of you guys are going to be receiving their bite, and then each one of their fists is going to lash out at each one of you. So, Morthos, you'll take the first bite. Now, thanks to Himaru Kori, or Himaru Kori, I can't remember the exact name, but it's something like that. I have disadvantage on the bite to attack you. That's still a 20 unnatural to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Right after he hits, though, I'm pointing my finger at them and casting Hellish Rebuke.
All right, that is going to be 8 piercing damage from the bite, and then because you took the bite, the other 4 claw attacks are going to go to the fighter, Mr. T, Sin, Selenia, and Runa. So, Mr. T, your claw attack is a 21.
Hit.
Selenia, your claw attack is a 25. Sin, your claw attack is a 24. And Runa, your claw attack is 16.
16 doesn't hit.
And I'm going to put away my white dice now.
I want to yes.
Okay, so Mr. T, Selenia, and Sin. Mr. T, your damage is 6 slashing damage. Selenia is 9 slashing damage. Sin is 5 slashing damage. Now, just because that one attacked you first, Morthos, your Hellish Rebuke is a dex save on his part, correct?
Yep.
So he rolled a 17 plus 3 on his dex save.
He still takes half damage.
Okay, perfect. Assign me that damage quickly, and then the other Giralon will attack.
10 fire damage.
10 fire damage.
20 total, and then half to 10.
Perfect. All right. So the other Giralon, seeing that his mate has attacked a group of them, the other one is going to bite at Ven. And I am going to be at a disadvantage thanks to Gloss and Gadgets.
So that was like one animal.
That was one animal that just unleashed on you guys, and now the other animal is going to unleash. The disadvantage attack for the bite then is a 12, which I believe will miss you with your Shield of Faith and Mage Armor up, and thanks to Gloss and Gadgets. However, it, in a rage, will use 2 of its claw attacks on you, and then unleash 2 other claw attacks on Sin and Mr. T. The 2 claw attacks on you, Ven, are 24 and 20 unnatural.
Yep, both of those will hit me.
Okay, you're going to take 19 points of damage.
Yeah. Ben falls down.
And then for Sin and Mr. T, Sin, you take 14. Mr. T, you take 12. For AC, sorry.
Oh, that's
That
a miss.
14.
I was thinking damage. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that misses. Okay, perfect. Yeah, sorry, I realized that I didn't really specify. And that is their turn. Mr. T, you are up.
Alright.
Weren't there 3 animals?
There's only 2.
Oh, only two. I yell at Runa, Runa, do something! And then, I just run towards one of those apes and start attacking it.
Okay,
I rolled a 1. Natural.
all right. Nothing will really dangerously happen. Miss really, really badly.
And I go full Will Smith on the animal and I yell, eat me!
Is that your uncle? Oh, that was your auntie?
That was your auntie right there. I'm sorry.
That's funny. That's really, really funny. Okay. Next up is Sin. And I will actually be able to show you guys what exactly you are fighting. Not a map, it's a picture. Just to give you an idea of the nasty creature that you are taking on.
Also, they have 4 arms, and that's why they
They have 4 arms, yeah.
Ah,
I don't think a kid would want to go to the zoo after seeing that.
No, not likely.
So as Sin was scratched, he was still daydreaming about his dream because now he's super curious about the blue eyes that came in the sky. When he was scratched, it actually brought him out of his daydream and it infuriated him. Now watching Ven go down put him into a berserk because one of his friends went down because of these monstrosities. So his blue lightning actually comes up in a serious charge. His eyes, I want to say, go bluish real quick, but go back to red. And he just plummets forward.
All right, you will have advantage on this thanks to Hela.
And that means I'm going to do Great Battle Axe. Or
There you go.
Weapon Master again.
Seems like chat knows you're in trouble. Uh-oh. I lost your cam, Tony, but I think I can still hear you. I'm not sure.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
you. Now we see you.
Okay, what's your attack?
Will a 13 hit?
A 13 hits, my friend.
Yes.
Did you count the D4
Yes,
in?
I did.
The bless?
But I have a -5 penalty because I got an 18.
Ah, okay. I see.
All right, so let me.
All right, so roll your damage. This is going to be gross.
Well, it's not a crit.
Yeah, it's not a crit, but it'll still be pretty good.
Do I add that D4 to my damage now too?
I don't believe so. I don't believe bless adds to damage.
No, sorry, it doesn't. Only to attack.
So that's
think it's-
13 initial battle or great axe damage, and then I gotta add the lightning.
Which you're using your aura. So I need everybody to make a dexterity save then.
Not me, because I'm sleeping.
I get. Hey,
Well,
Sin saw you go
technically-
down.
Technically,
Everybody
you
has to be at a
automatically-
13.
Technically,
Yeah,
you
technically you automatically
fail.
fail your deck save, and therefore automatically fail a death save as well.
Two of
Because
them.
it's damage.
Yes, that's true.
Okay, well, hold on. Before I was waiting to my turn because I want to interrupt anyone, but I'm a shadow domain, so I get a fancy thing when I go down. But because of how much damage I took, I basically have to roll a natural 20 to be alive at 1 HP. So I'm gonna make my roll now. And surprise, surprise, I didn't make it.
Sorry.
So how much lightning
Alright.
damage?
I rolled a 3 on my deck save.
I
Gotta be
rolled
the
a
13.
12. I rolled
I
a 10.
rolled a 18.
Selenium makes it
Kate,
How
what's your
much?
lightning damage?
3.
3. All right. Now, it is Morthos' turn, and you will also, thanks to Hella.
Okay, I'm gonna stay in melee range, but like scoot around to be away from Sin.
Okay.
And let's see. Bonus action to Hexblade Curse and stab it with the rapier.
Kate, are you stabbing the one that Sin attacked, or are you stabbing the one that you hellish rebuked?
The one I hellish rebuked.
Okay.
My animal companion is back.
Good thing I had advantage because that was a natural one.
Yeah.
So 18 plus 6. That'll probably hit.
That does hit.
That is 11 plus 2. 13 total. Sorry.
13 total damage. All right. That damage is applied. Now, at the bottom of the round, Azaka is going to go. And she is going to step up and attempt to make... actually, you know what? She will step out of range of Sin. And she is going to... by the way, Shelby, you'll only have one fail on the death save. Normally it's 2, but because it was like lightning from aura, it doesn't necessarily count as an attack. So can't really be a critical. Anyways, that's how I'm ruling it. You only have one. Azaka is going to actually make 2 longbow attacks, having moved out of distance. And she is going to hit AC 18 and AC 14, which hits the Giralon twice. And 17 points of damage from her to the same one that Morthos was attacking. And that Giralon is looking bloodied. Back to the top of the round, Selenia, you are up.
Alrighty. So, which one's bloody?
The one that Morthos seems directly engaged. For movement and everything else, you can get to either or.
Oh. So I'm gonna go.
Now,
for
you
that.
might want to move at least 10 feet out of Sin's radius. But you can do so and still be well within reach of your spear on either one of these creatures.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, so you do so. You kind of work your way around, kind of probably next to Morthos, so that you guys are going to kind of pin these creatures in, take them down as quickly as possible, because if they hit you again, that might be real bad. And you're attacking the one that's bloodied?
Yes.
Okay, 2-handed spear attack, 1-handed?
One-handed.
All right, keeping your shield up.
Yep. So it was a 6.
Actually, you can roll that again, because you do have advantage thanks to Skirl.
Well, thank you. That's a 12. So D6.
And by the way, just so everybody knows, Skrull is my fiance.
Aw. Wait,
I'm
I
glad
got a
the Streamlabs
question.
works now.
She's helping you guys out.
I have a question.
What's
the
up?
Tech bonus, my tech bonus is a +5. Do I add that to the 12 that I rolled?
Yep, you got it.
Oh, okay. So actually 17.
17 hits. Make some damage on the bloodied Giralon.
Do I roll just 1d6 or do I do 2?
Just one. You only ever double the damage dice when you're critically hitting.
Okay, I got a 6.
A 6, max damage, plus your mod.
Oh, it's 9. Yeah, 9.
So 9 total for max damage, though. Not bad at all. Then you are not up, so I need you to make a death save, please.
Got a 5. So yeah, two deaths, two fails.
2 fails. And Runa, you are up.
I'm already ready to go. She fell down right beside me, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. So I go over to her, crouch down, and lay my hand on her, say a quick prayer to Calimbor. And because I'm a grave cleric, I have something that's called Circle of Mortality. And it means I do max healing. So I will use a level 2 spell slot and give her 20 hit points back in one go.
Grave
And
clerics for the win.
Yes. And then I grab her arm, help her up, and drag her out of the aura of Sin, so she won't get damaged again.
Sin kind of
Oh,
looks back
allow
at her,
that to go.
his eyes kind of going in between red and blue, and kind of nods and says thank you in his pit of rage.
Hmm.
Yeah, Ven's completely confused about what just happened and is just saying thank you over and over.
And I say, I got you. It's no problem. We're going to make it out of this alive.
All right. So, Mr. T, the Giralon in front of you is going to take you up on your offer and is going to first try and bite you, and then will try and claw the shit out of you. So you are facing all 5 of the attacks. Now, the first bite is at disadvantage thanks to Bermuda. Bermuda with a 3 as an E. I'm not sure how you want me to... B3 Bermuda. I don't know.
Bermuda.
The first bite is a Mr. T. Now for all 4 claws. Ooh, that's not very good. You've got a 17, a 16, an 18, and a 20 unnatural.
They all hit. They all hit. I have 16 armor class with my great swords, and I always carry my great swords. If I don't tell you, I carry my shield.
Okay, all right. So they all hit.
Fighters die.
Not on my watch, they don't.
27 points of damage, Mr. T,
I'm still standing.
from all of those claws.
Come in handy.
Now, the other Giralon rears up and turns around on Morthos. And he just goes to immediately decimate you, Morthos, but in a flurry of speed, Azaka actually comes out of nowhere and seems to take the initial bite, and then you see the Giralon grabs her, throws her to the ground, and then you see all 3 remaining claws just rake across her face. And you're not sure because he's kind of standing over top of her. You're not sure what state she is now in. Mr. T, you are up.
Yes, I'm on 2 hit points, so I will do the self heal and heal 3 of my allies for 3 points of damage.
Okay, so
Again.
whose healing are you assigning?
again, who needs it? Who isn't 30 feet of me? Who can
Ben
hear me?
probably doesn't. Morthos probably does. I'd say Selenia, I don't think you're really that hurt. Maybe Sin, maybe Runa. I don't know. Who wants healing?
I literally have 5 health.
I'll
I'm
take
good.
it.
Okay, Morthos
There's 3 people who are getting 3 hit points, so just take it if you don't really need it. Just take it. The hit points are out there. So
Sure.
I, for myself, heal only 4 hit points. I've rolled very bad, so I'm kind of screwed. Doesn't matter. Are there still people in the aura of the barbarian? Still people of the team in the aura of the barbarian?
I'm gonna say I don't think so. I think for the most part you guys moved and maneuvered.
Okay.
As soon as-
Otherwise, I would have pushed him or bull rushed him to the side or something.
Nah, I think you're fine. I think you're fine.
The ape in front of me, is that the bloodied one or is that?
No, he's still looking pretty nice.
Then I'm going to use my first action to attack and my second action as action surge to, I want to say disengage, but that's just not Mr. T, so I'm going to attack again.
All right. You will actually have, unfortunately, disadvantage on the first attack, thanks to Exilium.
I just rolled when you said it, and I rolled 18 on both die. They're laying right here.
Hey! No, that's a happy happenstance that you managed to get 18 on a disadvantage. That will hit. And then your second attack.
Your call, because I rolled them right.
Honor system, man. I trust you. You rolled 2. I said disadvantage. You got 2 18s. That's the way she goes sometimes. But your next roll will be at regular.
Okay, I will attack it one more time. That one is a 12.
12. Unfortunately, 12 does not hit, but oddly enough, the one that you had disadvantage on hits. So
then I do 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. Perfect. That has been applied. Sin, you are up.
Again, I yell, Runa, do something.
All right, Sin, you're up. You are kind of left all alone now to attack one of these creatures in melee. You pretty much have to decide between going and joining Selenia and Morthos and thereby subjecting them to a dex save, or Mr. T and subjecting them to a dex save.
Well, Mr. T is kind of low, so I'm going to have to pick Selenia and Morthos.
All right, that is the bloodied Giralon, so you can go ahead and I'm going to get you guys to make a dex save right now, really quickly.
13, guys.
What's the DC?
13.
I rolled 14.
My boy.
16.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I rolled a 14 to hit.
You can roll once again to see if you get a natural 20 because you technically had advantage on it, thanks to Dungorted.
Thanks for all the advantages.
So you can roll again, see if you get a nat 20. Otherwise, it hits.
I got a 17 and 18, so they both.
All right. So you hit anyways.
That is a 2 in Great Axe damage and a 6 in lightning damage. So a total of 8 points of damage.
This Giralon looks critically injured as you actually sever one of his arms.
I kind of laugh in like a humorous manner of like, haha, you lost one of your arms.
Morthos, you are up. On the very same Giralon that has been bloodied and critically injured and has only 3 arms remaining.
Stab it again.
Okay.
It's an unnatural 19.
19 hits.
14 total.
14 total. All right. You, wielding your rapier, you manage to duck under swinging arms and you stab upwards, praying, and you seem to have found this creature's heart, because with the stab of your rapier, he just kind of and just falls to the ground. Azaka, in the meantime, standing back further, just to give herself a little bit more play range for her longbow, is going to, as she's running, make 2 shots at the only remaining Giralon left alive. Ooh, not bad. Hitting 10, which misses, but 23 for the other one, which is good. And she will do 7 points of damage, bloodying this Giralon. All right, back to the top of the round. Selenia, you're going to have to move to get to the other Giralon, but he's well within your movement to do so.
And this is the one that's not bloodied yet.
He actually has been now, thanks to the last arrow he took from Azaka.
Okay. Let's see.
And actually, interestingly enough, when you guys saw Azaka get up and move away, she seemed perfectly fine.
Interesting fact to know.
I was preparing to throw a spear dying her way.
Alright, I'm gonna get out of Sim's radius and attack that other.
Okay, still one-handed?
Yeah.
Okay, make your attack roll.
Seven.
7 to hit.
Oh, sweet.
7, unfortunately, misses.
Okay.
All right.
Can I
Anything else?
Can I use a spell?
You've attacked. The only spell you could use was now one with a bonus action. If you can cast it as a bonus action, you can still cast a spell.
Is lay on hands not a bonus action?
It might be.
Okay, no.
The one I wanted to use is not a bonus action.
Well, unfortunately, next time. Ven, you are up.
I'm going to do exactly what Azaka did and move the fuck away. Like as far away as possible.
You are out of range to not prompt an opportunity attack from this Giralon, so you're fine there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go way the fuck away. And I'm gonna magic missile it, because I'm afraid of it.
Okay.
That's 11 damage.
11 damage. As the force missiles slam into this creature, you can see that it is heavily bloodied, probably very close to death, but that could be a bad thing. Runa, you are up.
Yeah, I'm going to follow in Ven's footsteps, basically, and I will cast Guiding Bolt on the last standing monkey creature.
Okay.
And it will get 24 points of damage, of radiant damage, and it will glow, so the next attack has advantage.
24 points of radiant damage, did you say?
4, yes.
Holy shit. All right. As Runa stands forth, you guys see this tremendous golden glow begin to kind of form around her. And then she presents her shield, and this glow just kind of beams out from the shield and slams into this creature, and it kind of and then just falls, and its fur still kind of sizzles and crackles from the guiding bolt.
I look at Mr. T. Was that what you had in mind?
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Glad to be of service then.
Azaka walks up, and without any other hesitation, she jumps on the backs of the Giralons, pulls out a scimitar, and just cuts their throats to make sure that they are dead. And then she stands up and kind of begins cleaning her blades and retrieving her arrows. And like I said, I mean, she seemed to take a hefty amount of a beating, but
Yeah.
in the worst we're for it.
Sin drops his rage and he runs over to Ven and gives her a big hug and says, "I'm so happy you're alive.
No thanks to you.
I'm so sorry."
I'm like
Basically,
standing in the back, waving like, guys, I'm about to hit the floor and probably sleep for 3 days and never wake up. So somebody help me out here.
Can you all gather around me? I'm going to cast Prayer of Healing to take care of those extensive wounds.
I go stand next to her.
Everyone who's damaged basically should come to me.
Yeah.
Is everyone hurt in
Yeah.
the party?
No, I'm great. I'm fine.
Okay, and as you issue your prayer of healing, Runa, let's all cheers Lone Wolf Rowan. Issued us a cheers, so cheers Lone Wolf Rowan.
We will cheer you, although you gave us disadvantage.
And go ahead and issue your prayer of healing.
Is Asaka still hurt? Because
No, in fact, she says, I will be fine. I'm going to see if there are more of them.
All right, then. I grab my holy symbol and I beg Calimbor basically to heal all my friends. I'm telling him, Calimbor, Lord of the Dead, Master of the Crystal Spire and Judge of the Damned, look on my friends with your favor and give them their life back so they can go on your holy quest to destroy the Soulmonger and rid this land of the Death Curse. And every one of you gets 16 hit points back.
Morthos, as she issued that prayer, a deep throbbing had occurred in your tattoo and had stayed until she finished.
I am clutching onto it right now.
So, Runa, you do probably notice that that Morthos is like he's holding his tattooed hand. Azaka returns and calls out, "Dwarf, I found this in the jungle. It might be of interest to you." And she throws you a kind of this tall flask of shimmering red liquid.
What's that?
She says, "I found it with this one," and throws it to you as well. And there are two of them. Runa, you quickly look over. They are actually 2 potions of healing.
Ooh.
Common potions of healing, 2d4 plus 2. One of them is thanks to Exilium, and one of them is thanks to Bermuda.
Cool.
Yay!
Thanks,
And
Bunny.
thank you, viewers, for spending your XP. Party potions don't come cheap. They must like you guys.
I'm looking at this potion and really I am thinking like, can I use this or can't I? Because I
You get the sense, Mr. T, that your bond with not impede you from taking potions.
Okay.
But
then
you
I'll
can
take a
save
potion.
it.
No, I'll
I'm
save
going
it
to-
right now.
I'm going to heal
Yeah,
you.
you just put it in your
Because
pack,
you're
eh?
still damaged, sir. You're still bleeding after the healing prayer, right?
I'm feeling bad. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm feeling under the weather.
I come over and give you a hug because you're so fond of them. And with that hug, I convey cure wounds. And you get additional 11 hit points back.
Oh, the best hug of my life. How many?
Is he still
11?
11, yeah. Are you still looking hurt?
A little
Is it
bit,
okay?
just a little tiny bit under the weather, but I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
How are the others feeling?
Aside from
Confused.
right now, I'm pretty good.
Yeah. Apart from Morthos clutching his tattoo, where you know his tattoo to be,
Yeah.
everything
I come
seems
over
fine.
to him and put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Are you all right? I noticed you clutching your arm. Did something happen when I
The
cast the
prayer.
spell? Does it hurt?"
It's throbbing intensely, but the prayer happened in the same time while you were speaking your prayer.
Huh, so it reacted. Show me the tattoo. Did it change?
I showed to her.
Does it look different?
It actually does.
In which
While
way?
before it was more that looked just to be like a raven feather, now you can kind of see almost as if it's kind of like a bruise that is starting to come in underneath the tattoo. And it seems to be a demon face, mouth agape in a soundless scream, almost as if the face is trying to swallow his tattoo. And it's just, like I said, it's just this faintest thing that mind and healing and having seen contusions and cuts and everything else for many, many years would even begin to notice. And in fact, Morthos looking at it, you don't even notice it.
I describe it to him, what you just said, that I can see there this faint outline like a bruise, but not really a bruise because there's something unnatural going on. So this is something new, or is that the same face we saw when we had that teleportation mishap?
Yes.
Huh. I don't know, did you have the same vision that I had when we got teleported here, when we heard that evil laughter and saw that, or I saw a face in my mind's eye, and the first night we slept here, I had also very bad nightmares about this laughing face.
I do remember that. It's more
And this
hazy in my
looks,
memory, but I remember
it
something.
looks a little bit like that. I think if it would become clearer, we might see the same face. I'm not sure what that means. Do you? I wonder if there's a way to dispel this magic, because I don't think that this has anything to do with Calimbor or the Raven Queen, to be quite honest.
Could this be the Soulmonger?
Could this be the Soulmonger? Can I roll religion or Arcana to figure that out?
I'm going to say roll an Arcana check.
Can
I roll 2 or?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you guys are kind of figuring
more.
this out together.
Can I just give him advantage that we talk about it, because I cannot.
Sure. Yeah, that also works. You can
I'm
essentially
helping
take the
you.
aid action.
Yeah, I take the aid action.
14 for me.
You can actually roll that. Did you roll that at advantage?
I did.
Okay. Then never mind. And you're not sure. You've never heard of the Soulmonger. You've never heard of a necromantic artifact that is capable of rendering spells useless. But something that powerful to put a brand on you, if that is indeed what it is, it definitely isn't a long leap to make that conclusion.
I'm going to check his vitals to see if he's under the effect of the death curse.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm making a medicine check, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's much better. That's a 25. I'm more of a healer than an arcanist.
All right. You begin to kind of feel along, and you kind of feel his carotid pulse, and then you come down to his arm, and you brush his tattoo with your hand. And for a split second, you and Morthos both swear you hear this strange, just far off, distant, ah!
I clutch his arm and say, "Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was."
You guys all look and notice that Runa seems to have taken a particular interest in Morthos. Morthos is looking a bit concerned.
Probably more than a bit.
Yeah.
While they're over there having their secretive conversation, I would like to point out that Ven is extremely confused about what the fuck just happened. Because she was like fine, and then she was sleeping, and she doesn't know how that happened. So she's just ranting to anybody who will listen about how she doesn't understand what just happened.
And I go, yeah, okay,
She completely doesn't even notice that you're just not, like one ear out the other. She's just continuing. So
No,
glad that
I'm
someone
actually
pays
listening to what you're saying.
Oh, okay, okay.
Giving
She
you a
continues
chance to.
regardless.
Just listening.
All right.
I'm a bit at a loss how to help you, how to get rid of this thing, but my best guess at the moment is that whoever is behind the soulmonger, who's collecting the souls and does not let them pass on, is also connected to the tattoo now, or is watching us. So we need to be very careful. Just let me know as soon as something happens. And I would like to say every night when we break out camp or when we leave in the morning, I would like to look at the tattoo to see if anything changes. So I will check on him 2 times a day. Yeah. And I invite you to join me in prayer. So maybe Kellenborg can ward off this unnatural influence. You don't have to convert, but you might just want to join my evening ritual or something.
It's worth a shot at this point.
And when I notice, after making sure that Morthos is as well off as he can be at the moment with the throbbing tattoo, I will walk over to Ven and try to calm her down and tell her it's okay. You got hurt pretty bad and you went down, but we got you. We were with you. I could help you. Everything is going to be fine.
She kind of like attaches herself to you. Like she just gives you a hug and doesn't let go, and she's kind of sobbing. She's like, I was so scared.
It's okay. I understand.
Morthos,
with you.
As you're kind of standing there, just kind of like, oh, wow. You hear, and landing on your shoulder is Corvin, and he just kind of stares at you intently.
I look over at Corvin and just figured this is a long shot in the dark, but ask him, can our queen help us? Help me?
He just kind of cocks his head at you like that.
I regroup with the others.
Okay. As you kind of move over and Ven is just kind of finishing her kind of hyperventilation attack, you hear a beautiful woman's voice, Morthos, in your ears. And all it says is, hold no pity for those who suffer and die. Death, the natural end of life.
I think I'd keep this information to myself for now.
You guys all go to bed, troubled from your day's events. Runa, your mind is racing through the situation you found yourself in, the only kind of comfort to you still being Mr. T, because you've always found the dwarves to be very comforting and homely
Solid
and
as a
helpful
rock, that
people,
one.
solid as a rock. But it seems the rest of your party all has these problems. And as you go to sleep with your friends on your mind, you have a dream where you are standing at the top of a tower overlooking a circular city that
Is
has
it a crystal
beautiful.
tower?
It is not actually, although decorated and ornate with crystal. It's not made of crystal. You see that this city has canals. It's an entire canal-run city. It's like a Venice kind of thing. Their streets are waterways, and it's perfectly circular. And you are standing there when all of a sudden you see approaching from a distance a tidal wave that rushes over and swallows the city completely whole. You hear and see the sounds and sights of thousands of bodies floating in the water, soundlessly screaming. And then your vision shifts, and standing above it all, not really standing. At first you thought she was standing, but she's not. Standing, flying above it all, her spectral radiant wings, spear in hand, shield on her arm, is your friend Selenia. And then a boot kicks you, and you awaken as Mr. T prompts you to get up as the rest of the camp is moving. Probably calls you lazy bones or something like that. But the rest of the camp is stirring, and now it seems even you two are being troubled.
When he kicks me, I grab on his leg. I had the most peculiar dream just now. Why did you have to wake me? Maybe I could have figured it out if I just slept a little while longer.
I go, sorry, it's unable for me to sniff out that you were actually dreaming.
Nice.
Oh, man. Give him a pet and a kiss on the cheek. Like, it's okay.
I mean, I'm sorry, but everybody's waiting, backpack and all.
Yeah, sorry. I will get ready and follow him out of the tent. And I will walk over to Selenia and look her over. And I say, did you have a dream tonight?
Selenia, you did, in fact. Now that she says it, you kind of remember having this strange dream. It was exactly the same dream, but instead of you flying over top of the city, it was your old mentor, way back from Elturel.
He had the wings and everything.
Uh-huh.
What dream are you referring to?
I had a dream about a circular city with camels and this big tower I was standing upon, and there was this tidal wave rushing over the city with all those poor people being drowned in it, and I saw you flying overhead. Or someone who looked like you, someone beautiful with spectral wings and a spear. And just as I wanted to reach out to you, someone woke me. Look carefully at Mr. T.
Sounds familiar. I had a similar dream, but it wasn't. It was more of a. I saw my old mentor.
And who's that? Is that someone who's like you?
No, he was just a normal, that I assume was a normal paladin. His name was how do you pronounce it again?
I don't have it in front of me, so just do your best.
I'm just gonna say I called him Ray for short. His name was very complicated,
I see.
but that's who I saw in my dream.
Is he still alive?
I assume so. The last time I saw him, he was.
This is very curious. There are too many mysteries going on here.
Is there?
Yes, there are. We have to see.
And as you say that, Azaka says, I'm sorry for overhearing that last sentence, but Chalt is the land of mystery.
Yeah, so I noticed, and abysmal weather patterns.
I see you're an eavesdropper too.
She says, my hearing is better than most. Sometimes I hear things that others would normally not.
And you have.
Why is that?
Yeah.
You pick up things in the jungle, traveling. You learn how to pay attention better than think like a beast.
And you seem to heal exceptionally fast.
Says,
That attack would have felt someone like Sin. He's big and strong. He might have fallen.
While I hear and see Runa being like a little suspicious, I go stand next to Runa and like almost like last time, the first session, like hold my sword and unsheath it like a little bit and look at her.
Put my hand on his shoulder. It's all right. I'm just asking.
she says, you all seem to have your own abilities.
That's true.
I did not ask when you hired me as your guide I did not ask you to reveal all of your personal secrets, and yet now you come before me, and you, even after I prove myself in battle to you, you still question.
I'm just observing.
She says, I am like the big man over there. I am capable of taking 1 or 2 hits without going down. She flashes some kind of dagger-like eyes towards Ben.
Rude.
Sin says, no need for the hostility. We're all in this
Yeah.
together at this point.
We are all friends, right?
Says, you are my employees, and I owe you a debt. I will see that debt paid.
You called us friends earlier.
Yes, that was before you questioned me, before you now think me some liar and cheat that runs around hiding things from you.
I like your temper.
Yet nobody said that. We were just asking a question. We didn't force an answer. We were just seeing if you would explain to us.
Fine. I will take thee back today. I will look out for the terrafolk. I will still navigate, but somebody else take the lead. Tired of cutting my way through this jungle. She just kind of disappears into kind of traditional Chultan that none of you can quite make out, but you're sure she's mumbling and grumbling something.
Someone pepper, because we had a lot of salt just now.
Amazing. Amazing.
Sin walks up to her
someone
and puts one
questioned her.
hand on her shoulder and says, "Biddy, it's okay. It's okay."
Azaka just kind of shrugs your shoulder. Kind of walks.
Sin
I
looks
think she
back
made
and says,
bad
"Don't.
experiences.
All right. Whatever floats your boat, man. I mean, we're all in here for the long haul. Don't want to upset too many people."
So who's taking the lead? Azaka will still navigate. She'll tell you where to go. All right, Mr. T, you are in the lead.
I will go with him.
I use my short sword as a machete.
A tall person should go with him, so he doesn't just cut for our waists.
I choose to not take offense.
Sen says,
No,
what do you mean?
technically-
Tall.
Tactically, you're right.
What do you mean
So
tall?
together, Runa and Mr. T begin making their way through the jungle. Now, about mid-afternoon, I need you guys both to make a perception check. And you will actually have advantage on this check, both of you, because it's the same check, thanks to Gloss and Gadgets. Came in a while ago. I'm glad I finally got to use it.
18.
I rolled another natural 20. I don't know if
20.
you can tell. Thank you for the advantage.
All right. Well, it's a good thing you did roll a natural 20, Runa, because it seems that Mr. T was literally about to step off a soft ridge and would have fallen 10 feet down into a grove of these strange multicolored plants. Each stalk of these plants ranges about 6 to 7 feet high and ends in 3 trumpet-like flowers, each a different color. One is an intense red, another is a vivid orange, and the other a vivid yellow.
I grab him and pull him a bit back. Like, careful, this plant looks weird.
Azaka walks up and she says, "We need to go around."
Is it poisonous?
She says, "It is more than that. Each flower has a different effect. They will try and first poison you, immobilize you. Use acid to wear away your armor. And then it consumes you."
That sounds really, really
Let's
bad.
go
Let's go
around.
white bird around.
And indeed, you yet again come to terms with the fact that everything,
Is
including the
deadly.
plants of Chulp, try to kill you here.
Is it raining right now?
Yes,
Of
it
course
is.
it is.
Okay.
What kind of question
So
is
no,
that?
no.
Always raining.
Pretty much. It has gone through the last few days, and by the way, because I haven't asked you guys to yet, I'm going to get you each to take down 4 days worth of rations off of your inventory, as you guys would have had to use that during your travels for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because you guys have not gone out gathering, nor has Azaka been able to find any food either.
I will mark it down for both of us, right? Mr. T, because I'm your treasurer.
I have my own rations in my
You have your own
inventory.
ration?
Yes,
okay.
you have my money, but I have
your own
rations.
food.
It says that I have rations.
I see.
I mean, a soldier without rations, that doesn't work.
All right. The next day you begin passing, and today, actually, Azaka seems to, instead of heading directly south, she seems to turn slightly to the west and begins picking her way that way, guiding you through the jungle. Now, today, the rain lets off at about 9 in the morning and doesn't come back. In fact, the sun comes back full bore, and it's now probably about plus 45 degrees Celsius. It's just hot, sweltering. You're sweating in your armor, Mr. T.
I'm going to use prestidigitation to create a little wind and to create a little scent, something nice to overcome the
you.
dwarves.
I'm gonna just continuously cast Gust over and over and give us all a nice breeze.
I
Nice.
fart.
and it blows right into Selenia's nose.
Ugh.
Just hot, sweaty dwarf jock.
I'm gonna trip him.
With your spear?
Yep.
Okay, make a strength check, and at the same time, I'll get you to make a dexterity check, please, Mr. T.
Morthos, while this is happening, he's gonna turn to
got
an empty
4.
page and write down that quote of
Okay.
what he heard.
You got 4, Selenia?
I got 16.
Or Mr. T, you got 4.
I got 4, yeah.
And Selenia, you got 16. Okay, yeah, Mr. T, you go to take a step, and all of a sudden, between your 2 legs, you find a wooden spear pole that just kind of... and you just kind of trip and fall on your face.
When I fall on my face, I just act like I meant to do that, and I start doing push-ups. 451, 452, 453.
She keeps walking. Just keeps walking.
Excellent.
I
Okay.
sneakily give Selenia a thumbs up.
As you come
And I
to
listen to
those...
your story. I listen to you.
I help him back up. You're overdoing it on the training in this weather.
Okay, as everybody reaches camp this evening, first I need everybody to roll a Constitution saving throw. And then I'll need you all to tell me who's taking what watch again.
I suggest that since everybody was taking watch last time, I will take. Everybody gets a chance to go to sleep before me, and I'll just take all the watch, as many watch as I can. So yeah.
Okay, so you could probably split it into 2 watches. Selenia taking the first one and Mr. T taking the remainder of the evening. Then, as much as you like the darkness, it does seem to appeal to you that, you know, at least you don't have to kind of be up and wandering around and look for trouble and everything else like that.
Still a
What
little
role did you want
shaken
us to do?
anyway.
Constitution saving.
I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw and tell me what you get.
23.
23, I heard 6 for Morthos.
I have a 19.
19, 10,
5.
5,
Oh,
14.
14,
11.
11. Okay. Pretty much everybody except for Runa, what'd you get? Sorry?
19.
19. Pretty much everyone except for Runa and Mr. T, who are apparently used to long forced marches under hot conditions, having served in the forge rooms of the Mirabar Smiths. You guys are all absolutely exhausted. And so for Mr. T to, in fact, you have 1 point of exhaustion. So for Mr. T to offer you guys, to give you guys the chance of a full night's rest is really, really nice of him. And in fact, Runa, you may want to think about switching out Selenia so that she can get a full night's rest.
I will offer that. I can tell
Selenia, do you wish to
look
take
tired,
that?
dear.
Yeah.
And Azaka also seems rather exhausted today. And in fact, all of your water skins are bone dry. You have no water at the moment.
As we are breaking or making camp, I'm going to cast Create Food and Water. So we will have fresh supplies for the next day.
That's convenient.
Great.
I was gonna say I set up the
Very
rain catchers overnight too.
Okay.
Calimbor provides.
Can I count as a short rest?
Praise
or-
Cannonball.
Yeah, you can count as a short rest, Mr. T.
I thought we're making long rest, right?
You are, but I mean, he's preparing for a watch just in case anything happens.
Okay. I see.
So you guys all go to sleep, and Morthos, right as the last little bit of consciousness slips away from you, you hear that same beautiful voice come and say, "Bring down the proud who try to cast off the chain." And everybody slips into unconsciousness. Runa, you go through your watch and then go stir Mr. T, who's not really asleep. He seems to have just kind of leaned up against a tree and kind of half slept, kind of watching over you as he does. And then you go to bed quite comfortable in knowing that
He's watching over us.
he's watching over you. And you all awaken the next day. Rested, but as always, a little bit uncomfortable. There seems to be a light mist about the air that kind of clings to the trees and moves about. You go about your morning routine, preparing for the trek ahead. However, you all notice, pretty much at the same time, that Mr. T is missing.
Missing? Where is he?
Missing.
Where's the dwarf?
I yell.
Where's my buddy?
Yes. T, where are you?
Okay,
Are you
you guys.
squashing eagles again? Rubbing yourself in blood?
You guys begin searching around. You don't find him, however, after a period of time, Azaka says, "Over here." And you all approach, and Azaka reveals a large collection of strange frog-like tracks, dragging something heavy off into the jungle. And Azaka simply says, "Ground."
Oh no.
And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Oh no.
So, once again, for all our viewers, thank you again. Thanks goes to my mods, and apologies to the viewers if sometimes you didn't feel like I didn't get to your redemptions quite quickly enough. I hope to do better for that. Moving on, Tomb of Annihilation returns February 4th with an all-new episode and potentially, I'm still in the works for it, but potentially a guest star. While our Mr. T is off, he's unable to attend next stream, so potentially we will have a guest star. I say guest star in a loose term, but there will be potentially a new player playing with us for at least one episode. So we'll miss you very much, Mr. T, but we understand that sometimes life gets in the way. Once again, for all you viewers out there, to stay completely up to date with all Fumbles and Fame news, follow us on Twitter at Fumbles and Fame, all one word. Join us on Discord. We always love to have new members. And make sure you follow us right here on Twitch. Once again, we'll see you soon. In the meantime, claim your own fame. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.